Hey you guys, this is Aaron. You're listening to night number 2 of A2Z Movie Night's 13 Nights of Halloween. Tonight's movie is Hocus Pocus. Enjoy.
Bette Midler in this movie.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Hey everybody, welcome to A2Z Movie Night.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Tonight we're doing the 1993 American comedy horror fantasy film Hocus Pocus. First Disney film, I guess you could say. It was directed by Kenny Ortega, starring Bette Midler, Kathy...
She's wonderful.
Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker. It was written by Neil Cuthbert and Mick Garris, and based on a story by Garris and David Kirshner. Follows a villainous trio of witches who are inadvertently resurrected by a teenage male virgin in Salem, Massachusetts. And we have guests today. We have Tim, back as usual.
Hello, I'm back.
Our main man Aaron's here with me.
Yo, what it is.
And we have a new person. We might actually have her back on in another movie night before we do these, but welcome to the show, Heather Rushing.
Hey,
Heather.
hello.
And because this is Heather's first round, we're going to get her to read the synopsis instead of me doing it.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, get it.
So,
Don't fuck it up.
Hey, shut up over there.
Give the trailer voice.
After moving to Salem, Massachusetts, teenager Max Dennison explores an abandoned house with his sister Danny and their new friend Allison. After dismissing a story Allison tells as superstitious, Max accidentally frees a coven of evil witches who used to live in the house. Now, with the help of a magical cat, the kids must steal the witch's book of spells to stop them from becoming immortal.
Fantastic.
Dun, dun,
Fantastic.
dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, we're gonna start on the Disney logo. So if you can get your movie teed up if you want.
The little
You'd like to watch along
like
with
to
the
watch
us.
little
along.
castle thing, yeah.
We're gonna do a countdown and 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, so Heather, since you're a new person, why is this movie important?
Well, you're getting ahead of yourself. Let's do
Well,
our...
gotta do our-
damn it.
Yeah, we have to
boy.
do
our good luck shot.
We have to do a little shot.
All right.
Just gotta do one.
Pretend I'm
Cheers.
clinking, you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, I
Jameson.
can. All right.
Shout out to Jameson. Send us free bottles, please.
We're still waiting on that free whiskey, Jameson.
I'll just go ahead and save half of this for later.
Yeah, so...
You do you, girl. What do you
hey.
think about this movie, Heather?
Well, it came out in 1993. Any, kid that was alive in the 90s saw this film, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody watched it. I watched it all the time. And I don't know, it's a cult classic now. You sort of develop
How old
this...
were you at the time this came out?
Oh, boy. Well, when it came out, I was 2.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, but you remember what the thing called cable, where it would play every year?
Yeah, it in Syndicate.
Well, it says right here, it was
Just,
not a critical or commercial success whenever it first released, but it became a cult film largely from annual airings on Disney Channel and ABC Family.
it's
Yep.
one of those ones they play like all day long every
Oh,
Halloween.
it's like It's a Wonderful Life. It was.
Yeah.
It was
This
a
is
or
how you
Christmas
know
story.
Halloween is about to happen, because you
When
can't
this
escape
starts
this
coming on
film.
TV, yeah.
It did okay in the box office. It had a budget of $28 million and then got $39.5. So
Some of that money was for me. I do remember seeing this in the theater with my
Oh,
mother and my
wow.
little sister.
Really?
I was about 10 years old. I remember seeing it in the theater. My mom loved this movie.
Impressive.
So that's about all I have to add to this. What about you, Aaron?
I've just always really liked this movie. It comes on when I was a kid. Every year it would come on during Halloween. It really got me in the spirit. More so than like a lot of other movies. So in the 13 Nights of Halloween, we're doing a lot of horror movies that...
I think it should be a lot dirtier in 1693.
That shirt's
Oh, yeah.
way too white.
Way
Hey,
too
hey,
clean,
they
way
just
too
did
clean.
laundry, okay?
I mean, they live right by the river, so you can wash anytime you want. But yeah, so like more than any of those other horror movies, this actually kind of makes you get in the Halloween spirit.
Yeah.
So that's what I like.
So, first fun fact about
yeah.
this film, the guy who's playing Binks, Thackeray Binks right now,
Yeah.
it's this little actor here whose name is escaping me. This is actually not his voice
What?
right now. Yeah, so they
He's
actually had a
dubbed?
different voice actor who played the cat that
Because he
comes
couldn't
back
do the
as
accent
him.
or something?
So the guy who's voicing the cat is actually doing the voice of Thackeray Binks.
Oh, wow. Did a pretty good
Interesting.
job there.
I'll tell you something.
They just liked the way he looked, but his voice was crap. Maybe he was going
have
through
no-
puberty and is cracking or something.
maybe
They need-
so. I
don't
They
know.
need consistency.
Well, he probably couldn't get like the New England
Yeah.
accent.
Well, voice actors and
Yeah.
actors are kind of.
I mean, do you
Can
remember?
you
separation.
find out who does the voice of the cat
Yeah, let me
version?
look it
Because
up.
I saw Doug Jones' name, and I'm wondering if that's the Doug Jones I'm thinking of.
There's movies I've watched where I wish they would have dubbed the actor. Like
Yeah.
you remember Dracula with Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves'
Remember that one?
horrible accent. Yeah.
That was like the worst.
And these are like undershirts these guys are wearing, so they're practically naked for the time that they're in.
The time.
It's very, very
Oh, I saw an ankle.
risque.
I saw an ankle.
Yeah,
That is.
I think I saw a chest
Did you
hair.
see that Binks boy down by the river? Salacious.
Thackeray, right?
Yeah, Thackeray.
Thackeray.
Weirdest decision they could have possibly made. Why?
Voiced by Jason Marsden. Jason Marsden did. Spirited Away, Tarzan,
Dope.
Secret Life of Pets.
So
Those
why
voice
does
actors,
this
man.
kid show up here? Was he trying to
They
save the, they saw them
well, he's-
taking the little girl in the woods?
His sister.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
his,
okay.
his sister, and he
That's
saw
his
that
sister.
purple little plume
Yeah.
of smoke rise, so he knew something was up.
He was Spunky Spencer in Batman, the animated series.
I don't even know who that is.
Donnie in Batman Beyond. He did a lot of bit parts.
I mean, there's this like wild career for voice actors.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
These we were just at this comic palooza
Why does she look so
convention,
freaking
Oh, yeah,
calm?
and
yeah.
the voice actors there had some of the longer lines than the actual, actors. A lot of video game people that are famous just for their voice acting.
God, the eyeball on this.
All right, so
book
so
is
this
so
lady,
strange.
Kathy Najimy.
Najimy?
She's been in a lot of stuff.
You know what
Oh, yeah.
she's the voice of?
No. What's
Peggy
that?
Hill.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Me llamo es Peggy Hill.
That's right. I remember always we actually at Comic Palooza, one of the artists from
Oh yeah.
King of
yeah.
the Hill was there.
You know what? That's one of
Oh,
my
yeah?
regrets.
One of the artists.
Yeah.
You didn't get anything from him?
I didn't get anything from
Yeah.
it. It was a regret of mine.
There was
I
so
don't know
much
why.
going on.
Unfortunate.
We're gonna be there next year, guaranteed. I'm gonna talk to those guys. We're gonna be
We're
one
gonna
of those.
be there.
We're gonna be one of the
Podcasts.
we're gonna be one of the podcast partners next year, and we're gonna be there doing live panels and stuff.
He better hurry up.
Well, I mean, the film isn't going to be the film if he hurries. We all know what's going to happen here.
Dead man's toe.
Yeah, he's obviously not going to be successful, or whether it's the end roll credits.
Yeah. It's,
Like I've said how many times?
I don't know how they managed to make Sarah Jessica Parker look so ugly and so sexy at the same time.
It was confusing.
It was very confusing
Yeah.
for me as a 10-year-old boy.
Well, I can only imagine.
It was.
So apparently,
I was like, should I be attracted to her?
well, of course. I mean, to Sarah Jessica Parker. Hello. Apparently, the actresses, the three actresses, Kathy Najimy, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Bette Midler, were all kind of given free reign about their costumes
Oh yeah.
for this show. So like Bette Midler like put the whole like buck tooth thing
Yeah, that
together.
That was all her idea.
All the
And
prosthetic
yeah,
teeth.
and you know, like Kathy Najimy's got this weird like stroke face in the movie, and apparently
Oh, yeah,
they hated it. They hated it at first, and apparently it like grew on them, and that it went into the film. So like all these ladies got their like own ideas put in here, which is great.
That's cool. Yeah,
That is cool.
make the character their own a little bit.
They save money on a costume supervisor too.
Yeah, well,
Sure they still-
Well, there's a pissed off costume supervisor
that's
somewhere.
exactly what it is.
I don't know. These prosthetic teeth are out of this like crazy though.
Oh, it's the best
Jeez.
idea ever. That's every
They gotta look old.
Halloween, there's people dressed up as the Sanderson sisters, and it's the teeth that make the
Yeah.
whole costume. It's such a great idea.
They look like tweakers.
Well, I mean, if they do the young sisters or the old sisters, because the whole reason that they got this kid is they're trying to be young.
Oh, right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, well, their versions later on when they get brought back, they're not quite as ugly as they are right now.
Apparently, this film was also supposed to be a Disney original film. Like, it was supposed to air on the Disney Channel.
Oh, you mean like one of
yeah?
the movies?
Yeah, like a Disney original
yeah.
movie. So, all the those things that came out.
More high budget than those.
Well,
things.
and that was the thing. You know, they decided against it.
I mean,
I
it
guess
was produced by Walt Disney. But
it's a Disney
it
film.
became a feature film.
But yeah, they brought it to theaters. I guess because they just saw that they could make a bigger profit off of it, which they did. And
Well, yeah, they had They needed to pay Bette Midler's fees. So
well,
they were
and
like,
Sarah Jessica Parker was already a household name.
She came in. She was like, "I need to make a lot of money." Well, why? All right, I was Janis Joplin. I don't know if you saw that movie, but I was following.
Look, Leonardo DiCaprio was
No, Bette Midler was.
Oh,
Leo
that's my
DiCaprio was
favorite
offered.
story.
He was offered the lead role, but he turned it down to do What's Eating Gilbert Grape, where I think he didn't win an Oscar because he hasn't won an Oscar until The Revenge.
He was nominated.
Nominated, yeah.
Best Supporting.
But he actually
They picked a kid that kind of looks like him a little bit.
So
though.
he didn't actually turn the film down. When the casting director was bringing people in, they already knew that he couldn't do the show, but they wanted to see him just to like give them an idea. But they're like, hey, don't marry this guy, don't fall in love with him because he's not doing it. We just wanted you to see him.
Yeah.
So
But
that
he
when they
only would have
found the
done these
actor-
early parts, right? So.
No, he would have played
He would have been
Max.
Max. He would have been.
Okay.
Yeah, who comes in later.
Or the
I was
young
thinking.
now?
I think it was supposed to be this guy.
Oh, look, they're young now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hag! There are not enough children in the world to make these.
Well, and let's be thankful that Leo did What's Eating Gilbert Grape because
Right.
his career might have gone nowhere if he
It might have, yeah, probably. Well,
Who
I don't
knows?
know. Before
knows?
Eating Gilbert Grape, though, he did do Critters 3, and that set him on his path. Let's be
That
honest.
was it.
Well, Leonardo DiCaprio is my future ex-husband. I love him. I go to bat for him all the time. Critters 3 might have been, the most fantastic film role I've ever seen him in.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
There was
Yeah.
another role he famously turned down, or did I? It might have been Robin in the Batman Forever. I think.
Oh God.
They tried to get Leo
Oh, maybe.
for that. He wisely turned it down.
Yeah.
Who did they get? They got Chris McDonald.
O'Donnell, yeah.
What happened to him?
Oh, let's find out.
Batman and Robin happened to him.
hey.
That was that.
No, he did that. He did that one movie where he was like,
The Bachelor guy.
The Bachelor. He
Oh, he looks-
inherited
he does
a
not
bunch
look
of.
great now.
Yeah.
But that was around the same time, though.
He don't look bad.
He stars as Agent G. Callan in NCIS Los Angeles.
Oh,
Yeah,
He
okay,
got
so-
scooped up by a crime drama.
He's on TV
Hey man,
now, so that's not a real
syndication
actor.
money is real.
Yeah, he's getting that NCIS money now.
He's out there doing work with the Pink Ranger. The crime drama.
Oh, whoa. O'Donnell turned down Agent J, the
Was
role of
that-
Agent J in Men in Black.
What?
And that's why it went to Will Smith.
That was
Wait,
a
who did? Wait, who?
poor career
He
decision.
turned down Agent J in Men in Black.
That was a bad career move.
Good one for Will Smith, though. He already was killing it, so.
Yeah, he'd already done Independence Day and
Oh, this is, a great part when they're coming to get the witches to
She's
hang
so
them
funny.
and kill them.
yeah,
fantastic.
where they've come to
For a Disney movie, this is
10 minutes into a Disney movie.
It's funny,
They're
but
hanging people.
there's a lot of darkness here.
Well, man,
it's
what was
real
it?
dark.
What was it? What was the movie that they made that was always? It was a Disney film. It was the old movie about the cat and the dog journeying?
Oh, Milo and Otis.
Yeah, and they
that
found
wasn't.
out.
That was just distribution. That was a Chinese movie.
They
Yeah,
picked it up,
they
yeah.
killed like 80 dogs making that
No,
movie.
it was like 329 pugs
God.
in the bear fight scene.
Yeah.
They just, when he fought the bear. Anyway,
Yeah, Disney's gone into dark territory.
well, do you
before.
remember? So, actually, Disney had a period where it was actually called the Disney Dark period. It was the period in which they produced the Black Cauldron,
in the 80s?
Yeah, they had to,
Yeah.
they had to
the
stop
Black
that.
Hole. It was like a
Witch
lot
Mountain.
of there was a lot
Oh,
of
Witch
black.
Mountain.
There was a lot of really
Yeah.
dark movies. And the movie that actually brought it out of that period was the Little Mermaid. Yeah,
Really?
Little,
Yeah.
Little Mermaid.
It ushered in like a.
They were not doing well, like very, very like on the almost on the
Absolutely,
verge
yeah.
of bankruptcy.
I mean, how do
And
you
Little
sell
Mermaid.
the Black Cauldron?
It was
I remember.
awesome.
I used to love
I mean,
that.
no, it's great, but I
but it
mean,
was dark.
to a reaching audience,
Yeah.
I really liked their dark period because I liked that movie, The Black Hole. That was really cool. Mm-hmm. They did some sci-fi movies that were really weird, and they took a lot of risks in that time. And then after The Little Mermaid, they were paint by the numbers.
Oh,
So is it Salem and witches that started the whole black cats are unlucky thing? I assume.
I don't think it's Salem, but I mean, black
But
cats. It's been like black cats has been like a superstition for.
It's
long.
attributed, though, I would assume, to
Everybody trying to keep
witchcraft
them
and-
black cats down, dude. I don't know.
I love that we've just gotten into the modern times and they're telling the story of the Sanderson sisters, and there's like this one nerdy kid in the front who's
look
the
how
worst
he's so-
actor of all time ever.
Hey, let's give him a
Well, he's sitting at
V-neck
the front.
jersey
He's the-
sweater.
he's
Look at
the
these
nerd.
kids' faces. They're like, yes, I'm so excited to be getting paid $50 a day.
Yeah,
And an
free
extra
lunch.
and a free lunch.
No, this was '93. It was probably.
You're
probably
right,
less
20
than that
bucks.
even.
If they don't have a, if
Is
they don't have a
is that
speaking
famous
role,
actor in the background right there, that chick, her, she looks really familiar.
the
Kind of.
one over his
Yeah.
left shoulder.
Oh yeah,
The one over his left shoulder looks like Gal Gadot, but that's not
it's
right.
not her.
No.
She looks like a sitcom actor from the 90s.
The kids in the front are
She
still
kind of had
cracking
a
me up.
Lily
There's-
Sobieski look.
She looks like the chick from what's that freaking movie where it's
happens that Halloween is
Wild
based on
Things or something.
She
like
plays a
that,
bitch
or,
in every
Cruel
movie.
Intentions. Or something.
Yeah,
the one night of the year.
Oh wait, she's one of the main characters. Sorry, never mind. I'm dumb.
there's some great.
That's why
there-
she looks familiar because she's one of the main.
There's some
protagonists
great
in the movie.
'90s
Yeah,
wardrobe in this.
you guys
I love
ostracized
it.
the stoner kid.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
but he's actually really smart.
not from Massachusetts.
he's from California.
555. I wish there was another way.
Man, this kid is like bold. Jeez.
He's from California, bro.
He's pretty bold for a burnout, though.
I love that the only indication we get that he's a burnout is like
It's
an ill-fitting tie-dye
tie-dye
t-shirt.
shirt.
In 1993, that's all you needed.
That's it. I mean, context clues.
You might as well have a poncho and a hacky sack.
Yeah.
Every-
Nobody, the last day of school was never, or like Halloween break. What do you do? It was never like
they're
this.
in Massachusetts.
It's
okay?
Yeah,
not.
you're right.
It's not they're in Massachusetts. They're in Salem.
They're in Salem, so
This
that's a
is-
big
yeah, this is
deal.
big.
If you
Yeah.
lived in Salem, Halloween would probably be a
Halloween, man.
huge deal.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest day of the year, yeah.
That's why everybody cheered as they jeered the naysayer.
And then a lot of the superstitious people probably leave town during Halloween when they live in Salem. Like, we're going to get out of town because weird shit happens every year.
I don't know. There's this candle they talk about.
You don't like it here?
I don't know. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, and this movie probably kind of sparked a whole lot of that. Because this is like, you're too young to watch anything cool yet, so your
Yeah,
parents
yeah.
are like, well, yeah,
Hey,
well,
watch this Disney movie.
PG
This is as
Disney
close as you could get, yeah.
movie. Yeah,
They
Watch this
continue
movie
to do
with-
things like that.
Watch
They
this
had
movie
like
with
that-
Sarah Jessica Parker's tits out.
exactly, exactly.
They had like that Halloween Town. Those two movies that came out.
Those were
pay-per-TV
really
movies.
popular for Disney Channel movies.
I mean, what are the other Halloween-based movies that are like that are kid-friendly? Is it this
Kid-friendly?
one? There's Ernest.
there's
Ernest Scared
very
Stupid.
Oh,
few.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's not like.
It's not really so much. Kid.
No.
Yeah, it's not really
yeah.
popular.
I loved Ernest Scared Stupid. That was my
There's-
jam when I was a kid.
We thought about doing that in this.
There's a
series,
lot of
but-
good movies that aren't necessarily Halloween films, but they take place around that time, so it has that feel to it. And I can't think of a single one right now.
This kid's new in town. How does he know his way around the woods?
Yeah, he already knows how to get to his
Well,
house through the woods.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know, this is
he
a
already
Disney
found
film.
he found the graveyard because he's a burnout.
Oh yeah,
Well,
of course.
probably
man,
he has
I
to go
gotta-
through the woods to avoid the bullies.
I gotta go
because
find
he's
a
the new
cool place
kid.
to smoke my weed, bro.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous as a kid. You don't ever think about these things. You're just like, yeah,
yeah.
of course he knows exactly where he's
Yeah.
going.
He's cool.
I remember these guys.
Oh,
Shoes.
tubular.
Tubular.
The real stoners, but it's Disney, so you don't actually ever see them do drugs. But
Oh,
this
no.
guy is clearly a
Yeah.
burnout.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, he clearly is because he's 30 playing a high schooler.
Yeah.
He's failed how many times?
Well, he's got a leather jacket too. Oh,
Nice.
Well, I mean, this is '93. Vanilla.
Well, that's what
all
I'm
you
talking
needed
about.
was a
Ice
leather
is
jacket
30,
and the
obviously.
flannel shirt tied around your waist. You knew they were a bad boy.
That's
Well,
it.
he's
Civil
got
wardrobe
fingerless
can do a lot.
gloves as well.
Yeah,
That's very edgy.
a lot of exposition in just what they're wearing. Character development.
I don't know. He looks like a member of Hanson.
We don't get any smokes from you.
Yeah,
His
he
name is
does.
Larry Bagby. He
Or
was
a-
in The Young and the Restless.
My afternoon.
He was a soap star.
A lot of
Well, look at that face.
characters, a lot of the actors in this movie went on to do soap
Soaps.
TV
I
work.
absolutely believe it.
A
Yeah.
lot of them.
Got the new crop.
I mean, what do you do after a Disney film? I mean, unless you're Bette Midler, but she'd
Sarah
already,
Jessica
TV.
or Sarah, but they'd already,
They'd already done something.
Yeah, they'd already laid claim. I think that was the sell for this film.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm
this
sure
is the
Bette
part-
Midler's name was probably bigger than Hocus Pocus
Last
on the posters.
For sure.
Her name was probably huge.
This is the part of the podcast where I say I would have kicked those dudes' ass.
Right off the bat.
I would have kicked those guys' asses.
Yeah. Me too.
Hell yeah, Tim.
I would have cracked their head against one of those tombstones like Night of the Living Dead.
I just choked them out real quick.
Real quick. Both of them.
I'd have threw my bike at one and then choked the other out. That's how I roll.
I love this teen angst coming through in this film. So
Yeah.
Stop. Do not enter.
can't believe you made me
Caution.
move here,
Yeah, because that'll keep your parents out of your room.
I don't know, man.
She's been in a lot of stuff too. The
I'm
mom.
pretty sure if he just told his parents that he got his shoes
Oh,
stolen,
that's a
they'd be like,
sweet Hellraiser skateboard.
It's a
Whoa.
sweet room, honestly. Look
That
at
is
how
a
badass
badass
that room
room,
is.
Dude, he had
He's got like a lighthouse or a widow's wharf or something. There was
an attic room.
yeah,
or
there
so,
was like steps going up. You're gonna get so much play in high school, dog, with that room.
That Hellraiser skateboard was pretty sweet.
That's what's
What's that poster? Oh, it's a
Magic
NBA
Jordan.
Yeah.
Magic Jordan, Magic Johnson, I think.
Hey, that's a combination of the two. It's a really badass basketball player.
That's unlockable on NBA Jam.
For sure.
God, I love little Thora Birch about to come out.
I
here.
had a little crush on her, and it wasn't weird at the time because I was 10.
Well, you were a kid, yeah.
She ended up being in an American Beauty.
Yeah, I guess.
She was
Hey,
Absolutely, yeah.
the dad.
You see her boobs in that movie.
The dad. These
Weird.
people's-
That's a weird context
You
You
right
see
now.
her boobs in American Beauty.
These people's dad is the villain in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because they couldn't afford to get Judge Reinhold.
I was trying. I was like, man, he was.
He totally would have been the dad.
He was real. It was real familiar.
Gosh, she's so tiny in here. Like I hate thinking about her in American Beauty and then
Yeah, I
watching
don't-
this
I don't
movie
like-
as
Oh,
an
is that
adult.
the same? Is that the same chick?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
like
saying.
to
That's
say
the
that.
daughter
Yeah.
in American Beauty, and she shows her
Not the
boobs
daughter.
to the
That's
dude.
the neighbor's daughter.
No, that's Kevin Spacey's daughter.
That's not his kid. That's the chick that he tries to hook up with.
No, that's Mina Cervari, the
Oh, okay.
blonde.
Oh, okay.
That was her friend, yeah.
Oh, that's
And
right.
then she's in a Ghost
Tim, you know a lot about
World.
American Beauty, dog.
I really liked that movie.
Shoot.
I actually used to own the soundtrack on a CD. For our younger listeners, CDs were a thing you used to have to buy and keep in a big giant
we're-
book in your car.
So were VHSs, which this movie came out on. Maybe it's just like the tail end of what usually.
He's like,
fits-
I'm gonna go even higher.
I'm gonna go sulk.
because I'm angsty. That is cool. Yeah, they've got that little.
Why would they give that kid the cool room though? Like, I would have taken that shit.
Yeah. Because they want him up there by himself because he's a little fucking asshole.
Well,
Hopefully
there,
he jumps.
there probably is an insulation in the floorboards, so they didn't want to hear the kids. They didn't want the kids hearing them have sex. So
Well, that's an adult's perspective here.
Our
I mean,
first
have you
jump
seen
scare.
Disney movies?
Oh,
There's a lot of hidden shit in there.
Apparently, every girl has to be a witch for Halloween in this town,
So,
except for that
alright.
girl.
There's a princess.
So check it
and
out.
a leopard
There's
and
a
a devil.
devil?
You're
There-
wrong,
hey.
Tim. That's what we're saying. You're
I
wrong.
immediately got.
this is what's really strange. Okay, so this movie came out in 1993, right? That's only 4
And
years.
these assholes.
It's only 4 years after Roadhouse, and like think about how different it already looks.
Oh yeah, like how
No, just like visually, like
Yeah.
aesthetically, everyone's clothes, like everything.
well,
Like
hey, the
think about how
90s.
strange that
That
is.
was a very. It
was turbulent.
It was a time.
Yeah.
So
early 90s fashion was all its own.
well, it's not even the fashion. It's just how it's shot, and
How it's shot and the
it's
fashion.
a lot more
that's,
colorful. But this is a lot more
Well,
like a
yeah.
Danny Elfman kind of setup.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
got to think about. Yeah, they're in Salem, but they're trying to make it a little kind of fantastical. So I'm sure this is probably a backlot that they're on,
yeah, probably so.
so that they could dress up the houses a lot more to make it look a little more gothic, maybe a little kind of add all those leaves and stuff.
Okay,
And
so
that's why the coloring probably is the way it is, because they're on a backlot, so they can have all their own lights and stuff, all over the place to make it look just like they want.
And the cinematographer, the DP was also did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He did work on Apocalypse Now and
Oh,
The
wow.
Last Waltz. So.
how on God's green earth did Disney get all these people?
Because they can pay him Disney money.
Yeah, but I mean, they hadn't been. Well, I guess they started. Little Mermaid was in the 80s.
Yeah.
What year did that come out?
87, 88, maybe.
I guess they'd had a little money by now.
Oh, they totally had some money back then.
Well, I mean, I know, but I mean, kind of
I mean,
Yeah.
the budget was,
brought
the budget
themselves
was 28
back.
million,
Yeah, brought
so-
themselves back from
28 million for a movie like this in 1993 is
significant.
For a movie that was originally going to be
10 million
a
of that
TV
was
movie?
Bette Midler's
Yeah.
paycheck, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
You just humiliated me in front of half the guys at school. So collect your candy and get out of my life.
Get out of my life, little sister.
Yeah, helpless little girl. I'm gonna sulk on this stranger's porch.
I don't want to ever see you again, especially during Thanksgiving and Christmas.
And she's
Easter.
gonna roll up on this extremely flammable pile of jack-o'-lanterns
under a
on top of
bale
a
of
bale of
hay.
hay. And just lay her head right in there.
So this is a little known fun fact about me. In Silsbee High School, where I'm from, we did pumpkin carving contests every year. Won that shit 2 out of 4 years, dog.
Well,
I'm like a primo pumpkin carver.
ain't that something?
I think it's something.
2-time Silsbee
Two
pumpkin
times.
People
carving
of
champion.
Silsbee.
2-time. Let me tell you something.
They will
At least you have-
recognize
at least
your
you have
pumpkin
some
carving.
accomplishments, yeah.
Well,
I got a couple,
You
yeah.
notice that he makes sure every podcast that he mentions that he does jujitsu and that he's from Silsbee.
His achievements, yes.
And he'll
Those
choke
are his
out
2
anybody in
achievements.
his
Listen, I don't know if y'all realize this, but I'm trying to create a character here.
No, I know.
All right.
I'm making sure that they are keeping up with that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You maybe slip the veil and go behind there and explain my motivations. Hopefully nobody listens. Oh, never mind. I mean, hopefully everyone listens to this and they figure out my secrets. But I
Let's
would
go,
but I
jerk
would
face.
but I would have choked out those bullets.
I mean,
though.
what a corny cornhole film, but it's like I don't.
Well, that's why these things I think resonate because
They
when you go back as an
do.
adult and you're like, God, this is
God,
so
this is
cheesy,
awful."
but
Yeah.
I loved it so much.
So good. I like they're trick or treating at the rich people's home now.
And they apparently just walked right in.
I mean, everybody knows that's the place to go.
I wanna
You know,
live-
if you
I wanna
knock
live in
once
this
and
town.
nobody answers the door, you're just
You just
supposed to
go
walk
in,
in.
yeah.
You're supposed
Oh,
to just walk
yeah.
inside.
Max Dennison.
I want to live in this town. Like they really go
They
all
get
out.
down.
Telling you,
These people,
I'm
they're
thinking about moving to Salem now.
Look at all
I
these
think I am, too.
costumes. Like when the kids go to sleep, they're starting some weird eyes
she's
wide
like-
shut.
Hey.
It's a
She's the
very
rich kid in the school. so.
Caligula party going on later on in this house, where they pass their daughter around or something and then sacrifice her to the witches.
Wow.
Well, they're
Okay.
in Salem.
Well, you
they're
know,
probably
my-
like gonna,
Yeah.
Sacrifice a cat.
they're all devil worshippers.
My mind didn't go there, but cheers to you.
That's why we bring you here.
Thanks. Well, whatever.
gotta balance
I mean,
them
you're,
out.
you're right. You're ruining my childhood. Okay,
You've got to balance
you're,
out my misogyny.
You're taking. Oh, shut
Yeah,
up.
I've been waiting for your misogynistic
Oh,
comment.
come on, I'm sure it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah. You get like 5 per episode.
By the way, Danny, I love your costume.
I mean, does that say something about me? I actively listen to this podcast. I don't pick up on that.
You don't
Is
pick
it just
up on
because
it,
I
really?
know
Because you know we're joking.
We
yeah.
we even
Yeah,
say it.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Well, whatever.
It's part of Tim's character.
Yeah, it's the character I'm developing. It's just a piece
on,
of shit.
shit.
Why
Oh
don't
God.
you have a character,
piece of
Zach?
shit.
This
Get on it.
film, this is still a PG film. It's the little sister just talked about, embarrassing her brother, likes your yabos.
What?
And when you're a
She
kid
said
watching this
yabos?
movie, when you're a kid
Yeah.
watching this movie with your parents, they think it's a Disney film. I mean, it's PG for a reason, but it brings up some uncomfortable
You know,
conversations.
now that I think about it, whenever
Mommy,
yeah,
what's
it,
a
makes, it, makes,
yabo?
it makes parents have to have
whenever
an awkward
Aaron
conversation
said
after.
that this is like one of the movies where it made his pee-pee feel funny, like I kind of remember like that getting that same kind of vibe from it. and
I did
stuff.
say that. I said that it made. Well, I didn't really discover anything. I don't think when I watched this movie, but it did.
I mean,
But
it
it
made my
did, yeah.
pee-pee feel funny, and
I
I
bet.
don't know that I
I
have
bet.
one, so that's something.
At the
I mean,
time,
you do
yeah.
have a pee-pee.
It made you tingle.
It's not the same.
It
Let me
just made
tell
you tingle a little bit. That's all it
know,
did. It
the-
made my pee tingle.
Well,
That's
of
all I'm
course.
saying.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
kid that plays Max, you're like a kid. He's cool. He's from LA. I don't.
Yeah, he's from L.A.
He had that.
He's got the new
Hey,
guy.
Look, it was the
thing
90s.
to
I
him.
understand the power of
The
a middle
air
part.
of mystery.
I had a middle part in the 90s. I took full advantage of the look. All right. Yeah, I looked just like, yeah.
I had that same haircut.
You had the middle
I saw
part?
Eddie Furlong in Terminator
Wait,
2.
in the
I was like,
90s,
that's
Aaron?
it.
I think I have pictures of you in the 2000s.
I had the Eddie Furlong cut.
I didn't have a
for
middle part in the 2000s. No.
20 years.
I want to know how old the
Oh, maybe
girl
I
who
did.
plays
Maybe I
Allison
fucking
is.
did.
Like, there's no way she's like 14.
She's easily 22.
Nah, yeah.
She's
well,
like a
no, they're like seniors.
30-year-old playing.
Yeah.
No,
That'll
that
be fine.
girl is
Nah,
no.
that
she's
dude,
way
that dude
older.
definitely
playing
in her
Ice was
20s.
30.
Vanessa Shaw.
With an I. Vanessa with an I.
She was in Eyes Wide Shut.
Hell yeah, that's what Tim just
I
said.
just said they were going
And
to do
we've
some
come
Eyes Wide
full
Shut.
circle.
The Hills Have Eyes remake.
See, bam. That's why I said earlier she looked like Lily Sobieski, who is in Eyes Wide Shut. Man,
76. This was 1993.
this is...
I mean, these are some ballsy
76 would be
kids to
40.
She was
just walk in
17.
his house.
She really was 17?
She really was?
Oh, let me do my math again. 1993 minus.
Now look, right here. This is obviously
1960.
important.
Yeah, she was 17.
He's taking the Zippo. That's going to come in handy later.
Oh yeah, it's a
Anytime the camera zooms in on a inanimate object,
that's called intrinsic value.
they're making sure you remember that for when it comes back later. So you go, oh yeah, he got that Zippo earlier.
Yeah, and what, like, I love this trope of, like, you know, the new guy trying to impress the hot girl.
Oh, so,
They're
well,
going
that's,
to do
that's
something
why
ballsy
he's the one that's
today.
scoffing at the teacher in her stories.
Yeah.
Well, of
Right,
course.
right, right.
Like, kind of doing that
But,
whole
like,
thing.
what kind of freaking kids, what kind of kid in a new school?
Somebody from LA
just
that moved to a new school.
sneaks into this, like,
He's trying to impress the
house.
rich girl.
And this is supposed
But how is
to...
this house so easily...
Right, exactly.
300
This is
300
supposed
years
to be
old,
like
really?
some
And
sort
they
of
just walked-
museum.
and all the
there's
shit's in there.
cobwebs over everything already. Like, when was the last time there was a tour? What is happening?
And look at all this stuff that's in there. You're telling me nobody's tried to rob this place, or the lights still work,
Yeah, I
apparently.
mean, look at all these shit ass kids. You're not telling me that one of those kids over 300 years has done something.
Throwing a rock through that window and stole that shit.
And nobody bothers to clean?
Listen, every generation
I mean,
before
this
us
is-
was polite.
Somebody's obviously
and
watching
well-mannered.
over it.
They
Oh,
were
wait,
polite
the
and
cat.
well-mannered.
That's what it is. The cat's watching the place.
Well, you know, I mean,
He
cats,
scares away
cats
the
make good
intruders.
dusters, okay? He
Yeah.
could have dusted
Yeah.
up in the
He could have done
house.
some upkeep.
He ain't got no thumbs. What you talking about? He can't dust.
Why would he wanna-
He got a tail.
Why would he want to dust this
Well, I'm
house? This is
just-
the house where he lost his body and his daughter.
Well, of course, this is supposed to be like a museum.
Well, this is what you were saying right here.
It
This is what
belongs in a museum.
It belongs in a museum.
so you were just saying.
We named the dog Indiana.
He just said when lit by a virgin, and this is where you learned what a virgin was. Huh,
Yeah,
Heather? Yeah.
Yeah, tell us-
Yeah,
yeah.
it absolutely was. So you know, there's this great scene. He's reading about the black flame candle has to be lit by a virgin.
Yeah.
My mother, God bless that sweet, pitiful woman.
Had to
we're
explain
not
that.
You
to
doing-
know,
we're
I was
not doing
watching
a
this as a
section here.
kid. Hey,
What's
shut
a
up.
virgin?
But no, you know, but they hadn't had to talk with me. I was way too young for that.
So
crap.
how did they? How
And
did
so
she
I was,
explain it to
I
you?
was like sitting on the. I remember this
So he
vividly.
just
I was
did
sitting on the couch with my mother, and I was like, "Well, the plot points. There's a hole in the plot here. I
Yeah.
don't understand, Mom. What's a virgin?"
And she
she's
realized
like-
she had to explain it
Well,
to you.
no,
so
she was
it
like,
made
"Don't worry
sense.
about it. It's not that big of a deal." And so I kept pestering her, and finally,
What's
it
a
was
virgin,
like
Mom?
one of those things where she had to tell me. So I like kind of had
So
to
she was
talk.
like, "It's somebody who's never had sex."
During
You're like,
the movie?
"But what's sex?"
about like during this
During the
film.
movie?
I mean,
And
were
the
y'all
best-
religious?
No, my parents were not
Okay,
religious.
you never saw the Virgin.
No,
or
no,
anything
no.
at all.
But the best part about that is that, like, last week, I was at the theater, I was in a show, and there was a girl in the show with me, and we somehow, you know, all the girls in the dressing room got onto this conversation about, like, the talk we had with our parents. And this girl on the other side of the dressing room starts talking about, well, you know, my parents didn't ever talk about anything. And I was watching Hocus Pocus,
Oh
and I
my
was like,
God.
what? Shut up.
That's
You're like, we
crazy.
have the
I'm
same.
not alone.
That's why Disney movies don't do this anymore.
Exactly.
Had the same
like,
talk.
You're not the only
there's
one.
countless like kids across the country who
Maybe
have
that-
to
maybe
talk with
Hocus
their parents
Pocus.
because of Hocus
You know what? I
Pocus.
think this.
Thanks,
this is
Disney.
This is the origin of Baptists hating Disney right here.
Well,
This is
also,
it.
this is the occult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, way worse than Harry Potter or any of that other stuff. But I like in this movie that it's a male virgin. In these kinds of stories, it's always a female virgin
It always is.
that always has to be sacrificed or has to be the one that does. That's the only one that can defeat
that
the
is
monster.
The trope.
Well, and the bad
That
guys.
is
This one-
archetypal.
this
Yeah.
one, it
Well,
was
good,
a boy.
good movies always flip the trope.
And,
Yeah.
and the bad guys are always men, and this
Yeah,
is women.
They,
so
they flipped it on us.
just gender swapping everything out. Look at that black
God
flame.
love Bette Midler.
That cartoon Black Flame.
She's so fantastic.
Oh, I'm for kleps.
She's just oozes.
Those teeth.
Talk
man.
amongst yourselves.
I'll give you a topic.
She just oozes
Rhode
excellence.
Island. Neither a road nor an island. Discuss.
So that's
Oh,
all
my
it
God.
took was you just lit that fucking candle?
That's
A
it.
virgin
By
did. A
virgin just
that
had to
was
light the
it.
candle.
300 years?
Well, that's the curse
Nobody's-
they placed.
So virgins don't break into houses is what I can probably assume.
That's how they stay virgins.
Well,
Probably not.
Break in that house. Yeah.
they're not risk takers by like
If he hadn't
by
had his
design.
little sister there, and it just had been him and that girl, he wasn't going to be a virgin very long.
I disagree.
Would you get down in a house like that, or a museum, or whatever?
No, and I think he's too chicken shit to try.
Oh, he wouldn't have
Oh,
done.
no.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he
No,
gave her
he's
his
not.
number in
Yeah,
the middle
he's
of
bold.
class.
He's
Like, he's a
bold.
bold
Oh yeah,
dude.
he came right off the bat.
trying to get that
No,
nut.
when it comes to something. Hey, that Allison, she's a good
But when it comes
girl.
down to it, though,
She's a
was he
fox.
really going to do it?
Hell no. he
Have you
wouldn't.
known the richest girl in town to ever be a good girl? Come
Yeah,
on.
you're right. Yeah.
Dude,
Don't
Sarah-
say names.
Sarah,
No, I was
Sarah-
gonna say like there's a high school
I'm
here.
gonna give. There's Lemonhead.
That's the rich kid high
product
school.
placement. I love Lemonheads. Look at Sarah Jessica Parker's eyeshadow.
Well, you like blondes?
She's doing a real good Christina Janot. You know how she's got like her smoky eye. Like that girl can do
The
like
smoky eye.
eye makeup.
well, she's very
She
rich.
does
it's
kind of have that look,
beautiful.
doesn't she?
She's
very, very
she's got
witchy.
the
Shout
she's,
out Christina.
She's doing a Christina Janot with her what's that called, Heather? Around the eyes?
A smoky eye, a
eyeshadow?
cat eye.
Eyeshadow. That's what it is. Well, yeah, the smoky
You're
eye.
literally asking me about the eyeshadow.
I
Get your
forgot the
shit
word.
together, Tim.
I know.
Tim, you have a daughter. You need to learn this
You
shit.
need to. Hey,
Anyway,
So
you know what?
Heather, tell us about you and your mom. There's this. So what's the story there?
no. It was like a nonchalant thing. I mean, you know, my mom was super young,
No, I
and she
felt
just
like there was some
didn't want to
tension.
have that conversation. But it was great. Oh, I love the stupid little CGI lightning bolts.
Well, see, I don't even think that
shoot
was
out of the-
CGI. That was probably like Roger Rabbit type. You know,
Oh,
they
yeah,
drew that
probably.
in.
Animated it over.
Yeah, they animated
Yeah.
it in.
I love it.
Well, you got to think Jurassic Park came out the same year, and that was revolutionary CGI. So they had the capability.
Still stands. Still
Still.
holds up.
Oh,
Still.
absolutely,
Really good.
it does.
Except for
Yeah,
the T-Rex chase scene doesn't look that great, but everything else looks really good.
Yeah, that's
Bitches.
that's not CGI. That's
Yeah, like they had to label that.
It's labeled.
Yeah, in case you knew.
that's frame
This was
painting.
the witch's
And
room.
witches' houses must have been really dirty because their brooms.
I mean,
are
they
just some
aren't,
straw
Yeah,
on a
they aren't
stick.
doing anything. I'm telling the two little girls, they're feisty. And they give up a good fight, Max.
We haven't heard him talk yet, huh? The cat.
Well, fuck boys.
No, he hasn't.
Boys
talked
are
yet.
useless.
He's just helping them right now.
Well, that's not true.
It is true.
It is.
You know, it's 90% of the time.
That's right.
You know.
Oh, now her eyeshadow's different. It's not as smoky as it was a second ago.
Well, maybe the frying pan over the head knocked some of it loose. It was
Or this
cauldron
was,
ash.
or they took a lunch break and
Yeah,
came
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Don't
Why-
tell me that still works.
There's modern extinguishers in this house.
This is what I'm saying. It's a museum, and they left it this
Oh,
dusty.
it
This is
was a museum.
ridiculous.
Oh, I get it. I didn't know.
There's
it was a mu-
sprinklers in here.
and they still work.
Yeah. God, you're so hapless.
Ah, and
That's
Binks
What?
talks for the first time.
You could talk.
He looks a lot like the cat from Sabrina the Teenage
That's what I was
Witch.
thinking. Yeah.
Well, you know they say.
They totally ripped this
All-
off, I think.
I mean, all black cats look alike, right?
and they can all talk.
Well, yeah.
Oh. Actually, that makes Heather racist for just assuming it's the same black cat.
No.
Did you just assume?
Assholes. No, I'm saying Sabrina ripped off the
I think every episode we have to make somebody out to be.
Well, you know how like a lot of this is a real
I
cat.
am not the
confound.
one.
But you
It's
know how like
initiation.
a lot of animals that are in films are usually famous, I guess you could say, because they use them a lot if they're easily trained.
Right.
Like how
Like-
the dog and the thing was the same one from
White Fang.
White Fang.
Or
like,
like,
I
Bart,
bet
like
I
Bart
bet
the
this
bear.
I
That's
doubt it.
every
I
I
bear.
bet this
cats.
cat's been in other things. I
That
bet.
cat's CGI, dog.
Most
Well,
of
there's
it,
some
yeah.
CGI,
well,
but
the
a lot of it's
facial
the faces.
Yeah.
features.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen a cat raise an eyebrow, just one eyebrow in a
mean,
quizzical
Rocky does it.
fashion?
in a quizzical
Cats,
fashion.
cats suck.
Dog, they don't really have eyebrows.
Sarah Jessica Parker's so cute. in
Have
this
you
movie.
seen my dog? He has eyebrows.
I'm saying dogs do. Cats.
Oh, we're seeing some leg there too.
They're, ooh.
Firm as
A
stone.
little bit more than some leg.
God bless you, Sarah Jessica Parker.
I love
their little walk.
Kathy and Jimmy's stroke face.
No, ever since you
best
said that at
thing
the beginning,
ever.
I can't stop saying
drooling
this
out of the
stro-
left
this
side of
stroke.
her mouth.
It's like she has Bell's palsy.
I love
Like,
it.
I bet if you watch
kinda has that
continuity
kind of like-
errors, I bet that changes from,
From
either,
one side to the
either
other,
side of
yeah.
her face.
They probably do it
from
on
time
purpose,
to time.
honestly, for comedic effect. It wouldn't surprise me.
Set foot here.
hallowed ground.
Why didn't you tell us that earlier?
This movie's such an adventure. I think that's why it's so good. It's got a really fast pace and just keeps you moving. Forward
just-
forward.
And the kids are the heroes, so
Yeah,
kids in the
yeah.
theater can identify. There's not an adult that's.
I just remembered you said that the cat from what was
Sabrina
it?
the Teenage
Sabrina
Witch.
the
The cat's
Teenage
name was
Witch.
Salem. So
Well, of course the cat's name
Yeah.
was Salem.
You know, I really
Fucking Chris, I found that black cat a long time ago in the back parking lot of Thirsties, and
Sporting with the sister Sarah.
you
Johnny, I gave it to Johnny,
yeah.
and they named it Salem.
Yeah, it still hangs around my house.
Yeah.
I give it tuna.
I think Megan Missouri was the one that named it. I believe
She named it.
yeah, that's right.
She named it Salem, which
It has a little broke tail now, where like the.
But
the
he's
last-
still around.
Yeah, he's still around.
Oh,
the
that's
last,
awesome.
The last 2 inches of his tail are broken, and they go into a 90-degree. That's how you know it's him.
He's been in some fights.
Oh yeah. He's a cool cat.
forgot
Though.
about
I
that
give him
cat.
I give him tuna every now and then.
Well, he
He's-
just
he
said
still hangs
teenagers
around.
again. Like there's
Yeah,
no
teenage
chance
firemen.
in 300 years. No, the fireman said teenagers again. Like in
Oh,
300.
they look
Yeah,
like
when they
in
came,
300
yeah.
years, there's not like one virgin dude.
No,
or
it's a
whatever
small
has a-
town, dude. They ain't virgins, dog. They don't have anything else to do.
One thing perfectly clear.
You remember?
The magic
You remember? Oh, that was
You remember
so
Zach?
long ago.
You remember Zach?
Oh,
That's not a small town. They have
that's right.
150,000
No.
people.
I mean, somebody might have lit the candle, but it has to be lit
It's by a virgin.
by a virgin on like the
On
full
Halloween.
moon,
Right,
on
right
All
on the
Hallows
town.
Eve.
Yeah,
It has
right
to
on
be
the
like,
town.
the trifle.
young forever.
Why are you trying to tear this movie apart, dog? Just go with it.
Because that's my job.
Just go with it.
My spellbook and the little wretches have stolen it.
So this is what I really miss. Like I miss adventurous
She's
movies
eating bugs.
where the teens were like reluctant heroes. You know, I'm really really tired of the modern teenage movies where
We have had
all these teenagers like are heroes by nature. Like you got your Maze Runners and your Divergents and your Hunger Games and all these. And I'm just tired of it. I'm like, look, there's adults in the world and they're gonna kick your ass. Like, I'm tired of seeing teenagers save the world. I really miss movies like this where it's
I mean,
like,
what kind of person isn't a reluctant hero?
I don't know, douchebags.
Mentality kept me alive.
That's why I hate those modern teenage movies.
They're really handling a talking cat pretty fucking well.
That's
aren't they?
exactly yeah. They swallow the story so well.
I'd be there to
Earlier, when he leads him to the graveyard, the Allison character's like, "Oh, so you're Thackeray Binks? Oh, everything is true.
Yeah.
Wow,
nice going.
imagine that."
Well,
I
nowadays,
knew it
don't
was
think- I don't think people would be able
The
to
whole
handle it.
time.
We're talking about 3 ancient hags versus the 20th century.
Yeah, they were amazed by a road.
Bad. Stay out of there.
Why?
It holds Winifred's most dangerous spells. She must not
It's like the
Part of the
Necronomicon.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
the flesh
Gotta
of
love
human.
a skin book.
The eye. Yeah, burn it, boy.
He thinks this is gonna work.
protected by magic.
Oh, okay.
And obviously,
love this
obviously it
part
draws
here.
the witches in. Why you leave the book on the ground, dog?
Just a bunch of hocus pocus.
Oh, they said the title of the movie.
Hey, they said it. This is pretty good effects, actually. I like these.
I'll be thy friend.
See, this that really made my pee-pee
She wants
feel.
to get that nut.
that made me tingle when I was a kid. That voice and all
Bless Bette Midler.
Afraid not.
Thackeray big stout lady.
Thackeray.
Thou
Is that a
mangy.
normal name?
I'm waiting for you.
that. Maybe in the early 1700s.
And I will fail to save thy friends.
Maybe you were a mistake, Zach. Maybe you should have been named Thack
I
instead
probably
of
would
Zach.
have. I probably would have. Well, was it Tack? Tack has a.
Yeah,
strange
yeah,
name like
it
that.
does, yeah. Stroke face,
There it is.
flying at you. She's like, "Can I please get my spell book back? My amo is Peggy Hill." Look, if you don't give me my spell book back, I'm gonna have to call Hank in here, and he's gonna put propane on you.
Oh, I love
He's gonna bring the
this
propane.
part.
He's gonna bring the propane.
Toward the sky.
Oh, this is an introduction of another character.
Bette Midler's bringing back her old lover that she
This
sewed his
guy's
mouth
actually
shut. Billy.
Oh, I totally forgot all about the
I did
sewn
too.
mouth
Yeah.
shut
Doug
guy.
Jones.
Man, and as a kid,
Contortionist known for roles in the
Pan's
science fiction,
Labyrinth,
fantasy.
Hellboy,
Yeah.
Shape of Water.
He's always wearing heavy makeup, and
That's what I was saying earlier. Doug
he's
Jones.
collaborated with Guillermo del Toro.
He was in
a lot,
Hellboy,
Mimic.
Pan's
He
Labyrinth.
played Abe Sapien in Hellboy.
He was in the Hellboy
fish
movies.
dude.
He's the guy in Pan's Labyrinth.
The pale
with
man.
The pale man with his eyes in his hands.
and the fawn.
Yeah, and he's also
He's in the
Shape of Water. He's
Amphibian Man.
Yeah.
Cool.
You not listening to Tim? He
Yeah.
he said all that like
I
twice.
said all that like right before you said it.
man, and as a movie that's not.
We don't need
Why
that.
are y'all being so mean?
We don't need that thing.
Well, he said it like 3 times.
Well, when I saw Doug Jones' name in the the intro, I was like, that can't be a coincidence. But I couldn't think of who he was going to play until I remembered this guy. He also was the Silver Surfer in the second Fantastic Four film.
Wait, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, he was that buff? Jesus.
Well, he's thin too. I mean, you remember Silver
Long and
Surfer?
thin.
yeah, I remember him being like chiseled.
I mean,
like chiseled as hell.
he's got a swimmer's bod.
This was a terrifying part for a kid's movie. Like when you first see him
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like 6 years old, it's really scary.
Yeah, but he's so sympathetic though.
Well, I mean,
you
you-
end up
you-
being like, damn, man.
Yeah, you come to like him.
let
at the end of the
let the
movie.
man rest.
He's
Jesus.
like a Edward Scissorhands type of character.
He looks like him a lot too.
He's
yeah.
confused and he doesn't seem like he's a totally bad guy.
He looks
No,
like he
he's
looks like
just-
the way
turns
Corville
around.
dresses up to go to a Cure concert.
Oh. That-
What are you gonna do, Chris? You're not here to
Oh.
defend yourself.
And you won't hear this until October.
We could all be dead by then.
We probably
This is
will.
true. Yeah, I'll take
Yeah,
some.
go
Anybody
ahead.
want some more whiskey?
Pour him up. Pour him up.
Let's do a cheers for the introduction of a new character, I guess.
Billy, listen to me.
Head?
Maggot Museum and get
It really does look like he should be
Don't
singing
lose your head about it. Dylan.
Friday, I'm
Hey, you want
in
to do a little
love.
cheers with us?
Yeah.
We are at, I think we're at the midpoint. So yeah, we're at about the midpoint. So let's do a little cheers. for
Damn,
the
we're already
midpoint. Shout out to
halfway.
Jameson. Where's our free shit?
Jameson.
Hey.
Cheers.
Send us some castmates.
And that lighter that he stole is really coming in handy.
It sure is. Why was there like a Zippo display in that museum? in
Yeah,
the
there
first
was like a
place?
bunch of them too.
Yeah.
Well, that's the novelty.
It was like a display.
You know, how often can a full moon come around on Halloween? How often can that happen?
Well, that case in the thing that he stole the Zippo from was like one of those things you see in a gas station where you spin
Yeah.
around. So why, like, okay, this place is full of candles and stuff like that and old
why are you selling
witchcraft
Zippos?
shit.
Well-
yeah, like you're just gonna put it right there.
Well, it might have been like a roadside attraction kind of thing.
Actually, Heather, the chances are very high because months are based around moons. So Halloween's the 31st. So Halloween is probably almost always on a full moon.
Here he's going.
The
Here
look.
he's going with this.
yeah,
I just mean it's like
the look
chances,
Heather gave me, like, is he
the
really
chances, like-
explaining to me
the
how
chances,
months
like,
work?
Are you
kinda really
mansplaining
high.
right now, Aaron?
Well,
Hell
excuse
yeah.
me.
Hell yeah! You know
Put
what?
him in his place,
Look, let
Heather.
me tell you something. This movie right here is making me feel all kinds of weird because
Why are
the
all these
females,
women?
the
What's with
females
all
are
these
real
women?
strong.
These
Where's the
lead
men?
female
And
roles.
I'm trying to get my power back.
And his pee-pee is tangling, and it is making him
Tangling.
feel
I
all
don't
kinds
understand.
of ways.
Why are they only two male characters? This doofus and a cat.
It's
Yeah.
tingling like
Okay.
it was when I was 8.
This is against men.
Oh, absolutely. This was
This
the
is
first
Disney's first feminist film.
anthem in my childhood. It was
This movie
definitely
represents male genocide, and I'm against it.
Oh yeah, especially since the evil, horrible old witches happen to be women,
haven't
and
the-
the savior happens to be a man.
Haven't the
We're having a
generations of white men that lived in this town suffered enough for burning thousands of innocent women?
Hey, they weren't innocent. They were
because
witches.
they thought they were
Tim.
witches.
Oh, we like to have a good time here.
Can we not just
Hey,
put the past
you know, you have
behind
to
us for all the
understand-
murder?
During that time period, okay, they were doing what they thought was best.
Protecting their families.
I'm just letting you know. They floated, all right?
Under the
We pushed them in the water. They floated,
They
just
floated.
like ducks.
They were hung
and
from
wood.
ropes, but they
Which-
were floating.
Yeah. Well, if you push them in the river and they drown,
So this is the beginning of the movie where they
Exactly.
clash with the 20th century.
Yes,
basically,
I
yeah.
love at the beginning of the film they run away from the sirens and now they're getting on a bus.
They're getting on a bus.
Like you haven't been alive in 300 years, you're not going
And
to
you
be
know to get on a
terrified.
bus.
Yeah, it's great.
And I love that Sarah Jessica Parker is like
Just flirting
already
with
being
everybody.
flirty with the bus driver.
Well, that's her angle.
Oh yeah,
you know.
in the beginning when she got her youth back, she was like, "I can get all the boys
she's
now."
I'm ready to fuck.
She set the scene for how we do Halloween now. Everything's slutty, you know, like the slutty
yeah,
witches.
Yeah. Slutty witches.
Well, I'm slutty every
slutty
Halloween.
Bro,
nuns.
like
Look at
really?
this.
I'm literally.
And this is a
every
kids
Halloween.
movie.
Yeah.
Slutty police
I mean, after her telling the story about the sex talk with her
Slutty
mom and the other
trees.
kid, like I would not be surprised if
Things
this,
just got
if this
ran the
was
hell
there was a
over.
reason this was one of the last movies where they got this kind of
Well,
this
I mean,
pushing the limit.
Well, they talked forever about doing a sequel to this. I mean, I still hear it every once in a while. Like
Every
and
now and then
everybody
little
gets their
blurbs.
hopes
like, hey,
up.
they might do another Hocus Pocus. I've seen a lot of fake
Yeah,
fan
it
posters.
comes up every now and
Well,
then.
I have
Same
seen
thing with
something.
Beetlejuice.
I have seen something about them doing a remake of this movie. Have
television.
y'all
Oh, I can
seen
see
it's
that?
gonna be a TV,
No,
made
no.
for TV.
But they are. They're doing
So they're
a
actually
made
gonna do it on
TV
TV.
remake.
No, it's just I was looking
That's
at it
stupid.
earlier, and Midler said that it was going to be a cheap remake, and she doesn't want to have anything to do with it.
That's
Well, of course
stupid.
not.
I figured at most she might be on as a consulting producer or something.
I'm tired
It'd
of all
be a
these
remake of your own
god
Disney
dang
Channel.
remakes. Tired of them.
And
Yeah.
Ariana Grande will be Sarah Jessica Parker's
So
character.
Oh, never mind. I'm in.
Yeah.
I mean, she did Spring Break. I don't think they're going to bring her back from
That
that.
would
So.
take me in the morning.
No, I wouldn't. Oh, believe.
Oh, Breakers? Is that what you're talking about?
No, Spring Break.
What's that? I don't know.
It was a movie with James.
Spring Breakers.
Yeah, Breakers.
No.
Right.
With Franco.
I thought it was.
With James Franco?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. James Franco and Ariana Grande.
I don't think she was in that.
No,
was she?
it was. You're thinking
No,
of
it was-
the girl that.
it was,
it was three Disney girls.
It was
or
or
Nickelodeon girls.
It was that one.
Vanessa Hudgens?
Yeah, she was in it.
She was in it.
She was
but-
in it, and that other one looks super young even now.
Actually,
Who's
still
the girl
is
that
Ariana
that Bieber
Damn,
was
what's her name?
dating?
Selma Gomez. Yeah, she was
yeah.
the one.
Yeah,
They got
yeah,
all
yeah.
half naked.
We sound like fucking 80-year-old people. Who's that? Who's
Oh, you
Who's
know
that
that
girl?
dead
Who's
one.
that young person
Selena.
that's
Selena
selling
Gomez.
all the?
Selena
She's selling all the
Gomez.
records these days, and I don't even know who is
Okay,
it.
so here's a little.
Selma Gonzalez.
These people got a good
Now, check
thing
this
going.
out.
Oh,
Check
I
this out.
love this scene.
This
coming
guy,
up.
the devil, creator of Happy Days.
It's Gary Marshall. Gary
Oh,
Marshall,
yeah.
is that his name?
Yeah, married to Penny Marshall.
And no, Penny's
Who-
his sister, right?
No, I thought they were married.
Are they married or are they brother
Because
and
Penny
sister?
Marshall directed Big. She was obviously Laverne and
Ah,
Shirley.
I love
Probably
him.
sister, because I mean, she's at. There is another
directed a
Marshall
lot of
in
stuff,
here.
Yeah,
actually.
Penny Marshall was Laverne and Shirley. She
No,
directed.
it was Penny Marshall. Yeah.
She directed Big and.
Are they
some
married
other
or are
good
they
things.
brother and
I'm about to
sister?
find out.
She actually, I can't remember what movie it was, but she gave Mark Wahlberg his break.
Huh. Gary Marshall also
I'm
did.
trying to remember what movie
it was. He did a lot of stuff.
Oh, they're very. Both of them are famous for. Tons of
That's her
stuff.
brother. Her brother.
Pretty
is Gary
Woman.
Marshall.
Gary Marshall
Yeah,
also
he
did. I
directed
told
Pretty
you they were
Woman.
brother and sister.
Okay.
He directed Pretty Woman. There was a couple of things. Let me look at
Penny
it.
And
Marshall
he's-
did Big, and I think she did. No, she didn't do Splash.
He did The Odd Couple in 1965.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
did
yeah.
Pretty Women, Runaway Bride, Princess Diaries, and a couple other movies like that. So.
And he does little cameo things on a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
I don't think they're listed in the
He
credits
usually-
for this film either. Either one of them, which is really weird because they have this cute cameo part.
I don't think I saw his name in the beginning. No.
Well, that's cameos.
But does he come back, or is that the only time we see
No.
him?
Well, you know, they like they're all confused about what's happening Halloween, and they think that he actually is the devil.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Sanderson's
Another
sisters.
out of
They
time.
think
joke.
Yeah.
that he's their
These
boss.
anachronisms.
Yeah, just because he's dressed like it, they don't get it.
So this is like the thing that keeps happening too. Is
That's
like,
not a weird thing for a cop to ask a teenage boy.
he's-
Are you a virgin?
but he
90s man.
keeps getting like called out in front of the girl he likes. He's like, "Oh, you're a virgin. Oh, you're not cool," because that's the teenage thing. Is like, "Oh, you're 17 and you still ain't been laid, boy."
So that you
Which
can
is
only,
totally
well, You
normal.
can only assume that
totally
if he's
normal.
embarrassed for her to find that out, that must mean that she's definitely not a virgin. I guess. Because why would she judge him on being a virgin if she herself?
like I
is
said,
one?
rich girl.
Who says
girl
she's
in town.
ever judging him? She doesn't
Well, it's
ever
just
make any.
everybody else.
The movie's pointing it out.
Oh,
and then a
they thought he was a
hooker-
real.
And then the hooker gets on the back of the
No,
cop's
no. He
bike.
said they think I'm a real cop. You can't dress like that nowadays anymore.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually
yeah,
illegal.
a
absolutely
very
not, yeah.
convincing motorcycle.
Very illegal.
Oh, poor Billy.
Yeah, as impersonating a police officer, it's like a very bad crime.
Oh yeah. Well, because usually the guys that do that are like pulling women over and doing things. So.
Yeah,
Why
there
do we
was
have to
one
go
at
there,
Comic Palooza.
Zach?
That was
Why'd we have to go
when
there?
I lived in Dallas,
Taking us to dark
Push
places.
the-
real-
this is really
Gotta
strange.
push the limits.
When I lived in Dallas,
we need to bring awareness to it.
in 2006, 7, and 8. And when I lived there, the city was number 1 for rapes and number 2 for murders in the entire country.
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
So
And
sleep
there was-
tight, everybody.
And there was a serial rapist who was this short
yeah, there's
Vietnamese
Penny.
guy who went to police auctions and bought a car, bought uniforms and all that, and that's how he did it. So it is real thing. That is Penny Marshall.
So
Yeah,
shout out to
that's-
anybody.
that's
If you,
Marshall
if
right
you are getting pulled over by a car that you do not know for sure is a cop car,
You
then
can call
drive,
the police.
You can call the cops.
You call the cops.
Drive, put on your flashers, and keep
Yeah.
driving.
And
call the
put
police,
your-
and you can ask and make sure that
You say
that is a
is
cop
a
car.
real cop pulling me over right now,
Yeah.
and they'll
Because they
tell
have to
you.
report it when they pull you over.
That's exactly right.
And if you call in, they will tell that officer, and he will not
And
shoot
you can
hopefully.
and you can also drive slowly
Well, if
to a
you're
police
white.
station.
yeah, will.
Yeah.
You
Well,
gotta
I also
try, right?
suggest everybody, white, black, male, female, always turn your phone on record and just throw it in your lap. Never put it in the cop's face and make a big deal
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
because you're
Just
going to
hit
antagonize them.
Hit record.
But
But
you can,
nowadays,
yeah.
even if you
Yeah.
just get the audio, I record.
Another good reason
record every
to buy
encounter.
iPhones with a lot of space and to keep cleaning
Yeah.
it off. So.
But you can actually you can put on your hazards like you were saying. You can drive to a police station or like a fire station.
Yes, yeah.
Or at least to some kind of public place.
Yeah, some kind
A
of
very
public place.
well lit,
very well lit
public
yeah.
place. Yeah.
And I mean, they might get angry. I don't think they will though.
Not if you're speeding. I mean, if you put
Yeah,
your, like you said,
yeah.
you put your hazards on and drive at a reasonable speed until you get somewhere
Oh,
safe.
there's Sarah Jessica Parker
She just-
stealing
anything-
her man.
Anybody?
Party's over.
So what? She was going to go upstairs and get in bed and leave her husband downstairs with these 3 weird women.
Well, I mean, look at this woman. She gave up several years ago. she's no longer interested
She's like, there's no way he
in
can
life.
do it anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell are those?
I love all those VHS tapes.
Those are
on-
Betamax and VHS.
Betamax.
No, the
I saw
fucking
some
things in her
cassettes.
hair.
Those are
They're
curlers.
like
Yeah,
they're
they're
old timey
curlers.
curlers. They're just
Yes.
kind of falling
Curler.
out.
They're disheveled
Like,
curlers.
she doesn't look like she's got much curl going.
It's
Well,
like she doesn't
that's-
even care to even take them out anymore.
She's supposed to have that.
She's given up too. They're probably gonna murder suicide each other.
Oh well.
That's how
She's
they're
gonna murder him.
That's
Oh,
how their
the-
charact's end.
He seems like he's still enjoying life. So.
It's in
He
the
does, he
deleted
does.
scenes on the DVD. Their murder suicide.
It's a
Candy Marsh.
yeah. It's,
I mean,
it's
he
a,
married
it's
his
a,
sister. I mean, come
it's
on.
a short web clip now.
Yeah,
I love
that-
Kathy's hair too. I love how it's a witch hat, basically.
Oh, I didn't even
That's
notice that.
kind of crumpled off to the side a little bit. What a rotten little kid.
I love that there's all these.
Oh, that was
children.
actually me. I was an extra in this movie. just so
Oh
you know.
well, okay. Yeah.
I don't think. I
I
don't
used
think.
to look
list
just
that
like
on
that
your
when I was that age too.
I mean, Halloween around here has never been. I mean, Salem is really up in the Northeast. There's like a lot more suburbs. There's a lot more actual neighborhoods. Whereas around here, they're so spread out that you don't really see this many kids running around. You know.
No, not
I mean,
really.
there
yeah.
used to be. I mean, when we were little, trick or treating was definitely different than it is now. I mean, if the
Oh, yeah.
now in Beaumont, it's the neighborhood behind the log on.
That's where I always take
Oh,
kids.
yeah.
Crazy.
I always take my
Calder
daughter there.
Oaks.
It's the best place to
Calder
go
Oaks.
because almost every house participates.
Oh yeah, they go all out.
They're out in their yards playing music. The police barricade the streets
are there any
off,
are there
so-
any houses that do like they sit on the corner and scream about the devil and
never
Bible
seen
verses? They
that.
had that in at Hendrick's place in Silsby.
Really?
No,
There was
well,
there was a
that's Silsby for
street,
you.
and at the end of the street in the cul-de-sac, there was this one house that every year would always do
Repent!
they'd always do the repent and
Well, that's the thing.
You are sinning
The reason
and-
those streets over there behind Logon work is because every house gets in on it.
Oh, yeah,
and
for
they
sure.
block off the street so no cars can. And they hire off-duty cops to stand at the corners.
Yeah.
They play. I mean, it's really great. I highly recommend it.
This
But I remember like when we were
guy,
kids, like our parents would just let us go trick or treat, just walk
Oh yeah,
around.
I could just go.
No
walk around,
way in
yeah.
hell nowadays I would just give Ava a bag and be like, "Go have fun."
We
You
always knew to
forget
go to the
about it.
rich neighborhoods.
I don't know.
'cause
If she was
that's where they
if she
had
was
the
with like a
good
big group, if she had like a big group of her friends, I would let
Man,
her
that's
go.
my baby girl.
You know?
Like I just think times are different. Like,
I don't think they are actually.
It
Times
was-
are safer now.
well,
than
I'm
they used to
really
be.
old.
Times are safe. Like when we were kids, there was probably a lot more fuckery that was going on than now.
Madonna with the cone boobs.
Yes,
That was very
I love this
suggestive
scene.
for 10-year-old boys in the theater.
probably the most cleavage you'll ever see in a Disney movie.
Oh no, the most
I'd be-
cleavage is Sarah
Sarah
Jessica
Jessica
Parker.
Parker.
Thanks.
That's
Well, I mean,
close,
no, it's
yeah.
at the movie. You know, the whole movie has cleavage all over it.
famed candle. The witches are back from the dead and they're after us.
Virgin.
How much candy have you had, honey?
I love that the parents play that wonderful goody two shoes Disney trope. Like,
outfit she was
oh,
wearing.
kids,
I know.
there's no way.
She's wearing it like a
Look
virgin
like a
outfit. Yeah.
virgin. Yeah. Another virgin reference. So what are they doing here? They're trying to catch the kids?
Well, they don't have their brooms, I think, and they're
the little girls
Yeah.
stole.
So they're
their
still looking for
brooms.
the little girl. Yeah. Little Thor.
Hey, I'm gonna-
Thor Burt.
I just love that this was
I'm gonna re-up on a drink. Does anybody else need anything to drink? No?
I love that this was
I'm
just
good.
a shameless plug for Bette Midler to sing a song. Like,
Oh, this
we
scene
got
was-
Bette Midler. How do we get her to sing something?
Oh, she knows vaudeville. Let's do it.
Yeah. Scene was definitely just so that she could have a song.
And
Because if
I'm-
you're gonna get Bette Midler,
I mean, is there
Bette
Bette
Midler.
Midler?
yeah.
Do you need
You're
a
gonna
drink,
you
Tim?
want her to sing a song.
I mean, is there a Disney? I mean, pretty much every Disney movie has at least one song and
I
dance
mean,
number,
usually,
right?
but then again, Bette Midler always has a song in any film she's in.
Does she?
Big Business in the '80s with
I don't know
Lily
much about
Tomlin.
Bette Midler. I thought she was just a TV actor. Right?
Oh Lord!
She did film, man.
I'm verklempt
oh my
again.
Oh God!
They're
Oh my
talking
God.
trash on Bette Midler.
I'm not talking trash.
No, I mean she did a film with Lily Tomlin in the '80s.
She's been on
called
Broadway.
Big Business.
Yeah.
Look that
She
up.
did,
They
Wind-
wrote
Wind
a
Beneath My
song.
Wings.
Yeah, but that's like a solo thing. It's like not in a movie, but like anytime they put her in a movie,
she
they're
looks
like,
great.
Bette
Well, that's
Midler's
what
got to
I'm-
sing
Yeah,
something.
that's what I'm saying. Her music career is just she's just as famous for her music career as she is her film
She
career.
began her career in off Broadway.
Yeah, she's done tons of Broadway. Yeah.
Nobody starts on Broadway.
It's off Broadway.
Of course it was.
You know how to get to Carnegie Hall?
Practice,
Yeah.
practice,
Oh my
practice.
A theater joke.
She came to prominence in 1970 when she began singing in the Continental Baths, a local gay bathhouse where she managed to build a parkour following.
And this explains.
Holy shit!
so
1970,
much.
she released
What's a
14
parkour?
studio albums as a solo artist.
Of course she did. That's a hard-working
Since
woman.
1970, she released 14 studio albums.
Oh,
That's
well,
crazy.
yeah, I believe that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just really happy that you guys had me on this episode, so I could make mention of Bette Midler.
You were our first and only choice.
Yeah, you were the first choice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if we
Me and
had,
Zach were sitting
we
around
wanna
drunk
do-
talking
we-
about how we needed
well,
a girl on.
we want to do Hocus Pocus, and it's not. I don't want to make it just. We didn't bring you on just because a girl, but we thought it would be right because this is a female-driven film. Like all the main protagonists and the main characters are female, so it's like we wanted to add that voice to it. And you were the first one that came up. Like you were the first, the only choice, really. It's true.
But
'Cause
y'all
it
were
wouldn't have-
talking while Bette Midler's singing right now.
It wouldn't have been
Nobody's
right
listening.
if three
And I'm a
dudes
little-
talked about Hocus Pocus without a girl's input.
Right.
A woman, excuse me, a
Not
woman.
necessarily. I was
woman.
about to say, hey, I got bills.
You probably know every word of this song, huh?
Well, it's a common
Put a spell on you,
song.
man.
Oh, okay, I didn't
CCR,
notice it.
right?
Okay, that makes sense.
John
Okay.
Fogerty.
Hello.
I thought it was an original thing that she did.
No, this is
No.
I put a spell on you.
Well, I'm not listening. I'm saying.
But she did kind of repopularize the song.
Really?
Absolutely,
Dude, this
she did.
this song is probably one of the
This
most
is an iconic
well,
part of
one of the
film.
most covered songs ever. So many
I
people have
Jay
done
guarantee
Hawkins,
you,
this.
it's
man.
because
Yeah, Screaming
well,
Jay.
yeah.
But so many people have covered this song.
Oh yeah, John
Marilyn
Fogerty,
Manson
CCR.
covered it for the
Yeah, he
Lost
did.
Highway
He did.
soundtrack. And then those girls showed up. Good thing we dressed as backup dancers for Halloween.
For the Supremes, yeah.
How can
Kinda
you
like the Ronettes.
how
Y'all.
can you sing with a stroke face? That's all I want to know. Wouldn't the notes come out all?
Oh, you really
all
gotta
half-
really
No.
open your mouth a little more than
It's
usual.
about
Name your next sex tape.
utilizing your soft palate and resonating those areas.
Yeah. Well, why did you ask the
Get
expert?
Well,
on
you-
it.
Nor giving
You
all
are the
kinds of
expert.
advice in this episode.
Thornhill.
I'm not the expert. You are. Yeah.
Ain't no expert.
Sure you
I
are.
dabble a little. I dibble
Sure you're an
dabble in
expert.
some
Holy shit,
things.
Bette Midler does concert tours.
Yeah, of course. Duh. Where have y'all been?
She performed the
I
song.
know.
She performed the song again
I'm with
in
you,
her
Heather.
2015 tour, wearing a costume similar to the one that she wanted.
Y'all trying to act like
If
Bette
you
Midler
could
was
see
not the
the
star
shame
of The Rose,
on my face.
the
right
Janis
now.
Joplin story.
Was she?
Yes, the movie in
I just think-
1979.
I think Beaches,
The Rose.
Prince of
It's
Tides.
the Janis Joplin movie.
I think
And it was
we're
Prince of
finding out
Tides,
Aaron.
nothing
Aaron's
about
way
princess,
more connected
nothing
to his
about
female side than
tides.
either of us.
Well, my
Tides.
mom was a huge Bette Midler
I'll choke
fan.
you
That's
down
why
right.
I know as much as I do.
That's not very familiar.
Well, no, it's just like we're in Southeast Texas. How do you guys not know about the movie The Rose? It's about Janis Joplin.
I really don't like Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin.
I
hate her. It's just been too much.
No, it's fine if you hate, but you still have to have the knowledge
too
of
many
them.
drunk girls
You just have to have the knowledge of it.
My
that's all.
mom went to school with Janis Joplin. My dad smoked weed with Janis Joplin.
My dad took her to prom. Yeah.
Well, she's our local, claim to fame, but you can't
but she
knock
left this.
the woman's
She left this area
talent.
because everybody shit on her.
they were
and
She
horrible.
famously
Shit.
hated this area.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
because they treated her like shit.
Of course she did.
She
but
actually
you can't
she
knock
died.
her
She
as a
died.
musical artist.
But now we're all like,
no. She died within like a month of her attending her 10-year reunion.
Absolutely, there's
She
a
came to her
great
10-year reunion,
documentary.
and they say that it depressed her so much going back and like.
Isn't
dealing
she
with
one
those
of the
emotions
curse
that
of
she died
27?
Yeah,
She's one of the.
So she
27?
went to like her reunion and like it fucked her up so
Yeah.
bad. They say that's probably why she was in
She
such
did-
a
she
state.
did
Not
make
gonna
a lot of
lie,
good
I'm
decisions,
27 right now. I'm trying to get past this year.
Hang in
Look,
there.
look.
When's your birthday?
You're doing fine.
February,
We're
so I
gonna
got
keep
a
you
while.
close. We're gonna keep you
We're
close.
gonna keep you real close.
We
Well,
gotta keep you real close.
I haven't.
We'll
I've
be working
never
very
decided
closely
to try
together.
heroin, and I've never decided like crystal meth is a good
Dope.
idea.
Please don't.
No, yeah.
So I think I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
That seems to be it.
Well, honestly, like
don't choke on your own vomit or a
Well,
ham sandwich.
just get a handle on drinking.
Mama
I know,
Cass. I'm gonna
I
die
don't
like
think she
Mama
was
Cass.
20. I don't think she was 27 though.
I don't know.
Well, Janis Joplin was like,
she
she was
might
like,
have been.
Janis Joplin was like banging whiskey.
Actually,
she was injecting whiskey in her
funny,
veins.
funny story.
She's banging that
the whole
shit.
27 thing. I don't know if she was 27, but the same house that Mama Cass died in, Hendrix died in.
Get out.
I think
Stop.
so. I saw it.
Was it a house or was that like the
It was a house.
Chateau?
I saw it.
Montmartre
we did a
or
rock and
whatever?
roll tour in London whenever I went
Chateau.
there. It was pretty trippy.
I can't remember. It was like somebody tried to
Alright.
order a bottle of
Yes.
Chateau Marmont. You realize that's not a champagne. That's a place.
No, Keith Moon. It wasn't Jimi Hendrix.
Oh,
Keith Moon
Keith Moon.
and Mama Cass died
So
in the same house.
what the hell is going on in this movie? I'm so far.
They're
Okay.
trying to get their shit back. but
So
Oh, they're in an
they've tricked the
incinerator.
Sanderson
Yeah.
sisters into an incinerator.
Where
and
the
they're
fuck is an
going to
incinerator?
try
Aren't they
to
in the
At a
school?
hospital or
burn
something.
them
Yeah, the
alive.
boiler room incinerator, I guess. Oh, there's that plume. It's
Oh,
not.
and they,
it's
and
not
they
purple this
think
time though. It's
going to
green.
work.
They're underneath the high school.
Yeah.
The high school
What
has
is it?
a
Is it a
a
boiler?
walk-in
Incinerator?
incinerator.
Seemed
Well,
kinda
Salem,
dangerous.
Massachusetts is like from the 1600s.
It probably used to be a
so,
morgue
yeah.
or something, so they got a.
Oh Jesus!
But it probably might be.
Something surprising.
Oh,
Look, they're all
look at these.
celebrating.
They're
just- it was probably just a
celebrating.
boiler
They've
room.
done it.
See, but what they don't know
But there's
is
not a
that
boiler
there's,
room you can
there's
walk
30 minutes left in the film, so they're not, that's,
Oh,
they're
yeah, they're not
celebrating a little
done
too
yet.
early.
This is the fake out win. Yeah.
You're not only premature at one thing,
I like
dude.
how they kind of put him in the moon there. That's kind of cute.
It's good iconography.
Uh-oh. He's starting to realize.
Miss her, don't you?
He's like, wait a minute, you're still a cat.
You're
God damn
still
it.
a cat. What has
Yeah.
happened?
They're like, oh, we can't just let you keep being a cat.
Max, you'll never know how precious she is until you lose
I need you to kill me.
Ah, the protection. Yeah.
Jeez.
I need one more favor from you.
So like, I mean,
I
the
need you-
witches are dead, bro. Like, you want to come live in my house, dog? I'm not gonna scoop your poop,
We got fancy
but
fees.
you
It'll
know,
be
it's
cool.
cool. It's dope. I'll give you tuna. It'd be awesome.
We'll find you a cat to play with.
Home.
Wasn't he a virgin? No, he's not a virgin. Well, I don't know. He was probably 16 whenever all that happened. So he
Yeah.
probably wasn't. It was
The cat?
It
The
was
guy?
the 17th century. I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
He
was.
probably had
Let's
a
be
wife
honest.
already.
If this was historically accurate, he'd have like 3 kids.
He already had a 12-year-old wife.
I like how nothing else is
That's
dirty
true.
on her, but she has a couple of marks on her face that show they've been running around doing crazy shit.
Oh, the
But her
parents are
white
still
shirt
under
That's
the
a
is
spell.
completely
Yeah.
clean.
She got a little ash on her face.
Oh my gosh, that's a human being. You're making me eat him out of a bowl. Like
She said,
like,
"You're
Well,
my
he's
kitty
been a
now."
cat
Come
for
on.
300 years. I mean,
You will be my pet.
that's a human being. Okay?
When are their parents gonna find out that their fucking cat talks and it lives? It's 300 years old and it's like outliving everybody.
yeah, that's
They're
gonna
like,
be hard
okay,
to
we'll let you
explain.
keep the cat in the hopes that it'll probably die soon, and then it,
and never
and then it
dies.
never dies.
Honestly, being a cat.
Well, because he has 9 lives. We saw him get run over earlier.
Yeah.
Is it that he has 9 lives, or is it that he?
No,
No, he
he
ran
can't
over and
die.
flattened, and
He's
you saw
immortal,
You
yeah.
saw him like
Yeah.
He's immortal.
reinflate like a balloon.
That's his.
Well, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about.
Oh,
the
so I
fact-
didn't know if it was immortal or he literally had.
Well,
9
I was
lives.
Maybe
thinking
it is the
about
9 lives,
I was
yeah.
thinking about how he actually protected the house, because I was thinking if these shit ass kids went over there and he like jumped on them, then maybe they killed the cat and then he came back, and that's why they never came back, because they ran off because they were scared. kind of was thinking.
I mean,
Now,
these
see,
witches
how are they able to do
these
that?
witches
The
are
incinerator.
badass.
Oh, it's a
did
kiln.
not
Oh, it's a kiln.
work
It's
on
Stanley
these
Pottery
kilns.
class.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty advanced for
What
such a
kind
small
of
town.
kiln
Like, wow.
looks
That's a
like
huge
that?
kiln. They got a hell of an
gigantic
art
kiln.
program there.
These witches are badass too. They
Greg
Well, they hung out- they
Greg
loved-
Buscemi
they-
would be very
They're-
jealous of the
Yeah,
size of
right.
that kiln.
I mean,
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they know the devil personally. I don't think they're too scared of flames. They probably were.
But how
hanging
did
out
they
with
do
them.
that? They sucked themselves back in there and came back alive. They don't.
You
They don't
know,
explain
hey,
that.
it's
devil.
a Disney film. You
Plot
can't
point.
question.
got help from the devil. That's all I know.
Why the fuck would you wrap a house and then hang out in front of it?
Yeah, oinker.
You know, these aren't the smartest kids.
And there's
Well,
unsmashed
I mean-
pumpkins back there. What are these two dudes doing?
I mean,
Priorities,
Ice. Look,
motherfucker.
Ice is a 30-year-old high school student, so I don't know why you're acting like he knows what he's doing.
I love that
He
there were
obviously does
all
not.
of these kids.
He's like, no, I do this every
trick-or-treating.
time. It
So
always
this is a
works
modern
out.
remake. He would have ice tattooed on his head. So
Look at him. He's 30.
Why did they choose to pick like the 30-year-old guys instead of all the kids
shoes.
they passed by?
The shoes. They smelled the shoes.
Yeah,
They
well,
smelled. They smelled the
okay.
virgin.
are they
Because
virgins
these dudes
too?
deserve it.
Well, they smelled the virgin on them.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And we,
Well, it's just
it's so that we don't feel
children.
sorry.
They can't suck the lives out of adults. It has to be.
And this way, we don't feel sorry about them because we know these guys are pieces of shit.
Well, they probably don't get as much like mana from like these guys
Oh,
as they
yeah.
will
Oh,
from
probably,
like,
yeah.
like a
Naturally.
pure like,
Some pure.
child.
Natural. This is their last resort.
You there, you were here. Sarah, you were in the back dancing.
They smelled the virgin on them.
And the book said,
And cheap weed.
like it was yesterday.
They're like, oh my gosh, I've never smelled a hemp such as this before.
We used to get way better shit back in the day. Her hair is like the witch's hat, like
It is.
like
I've
like
never
Oogie,
noticed that before.
like Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before Christmas. How his
Yeah,
his
little
head
yeah,
kinda,
pointed
yeah.
pinhead
and then kind of
look.
like it's slumped over to the
I've
side.
never noticed that until now. It's
It
crazy.
really is, yeah.
And like Heather was saying earlier, that might have been Kathy and Jamie's idea.
Well, I like how Bette
to do
Midler's.
that.
She has kind of like the
was.
Mickey Mouse ears going.
She does. She does.
And Sarah Jessica Parker was
She's
like,
just fine as shit.
she's like, I just want to be.
I just
I
want
wanna
a
be the
smoky
sexy
eye,
one.
and I want my tits out,
Yeah.
and I want to
And the
sing.
longest
Hey.
blonde wig you've got.
She's
Girl,
the
you do
floozy.
you. You do you, girl.
Well, they all have these, you know. Bette Midler's the leader. Sarah Jessica Parker's
Yeah.
the slut. Kathy's the dumb one. They all
They play a role.
play their
Play
role.
roles.
Play their role. That eyeball in that book.
It's pretty cool. I like
Green
that too.
eyes. I like that.
I need to get a phone case that's just
Green
like this
eyes.
with the eyeball and it, like moves and looks.
It's kind of like the
Wrapped in human
Necronomicon
skin.
in
Yeah.
Army of Darkness has the
Kinda.
mouth.
I'm pretty sure you
And
can
it-
find one.
when he picks it up, it bites him.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. What is it? 5 a.m. Is that what they just said?
I should go.
Oh, her parents are gonna kill her.
My parents are definitely not off partying and doing ecstasy.
They're doing their Caligula eyes wide shut thing. She's like,
Hey, look.
I ain't going home. She's like, can
they
I stay with?
They probably made it to the basement by now, and
She's
they
like,
get
"Can
the
I s-
robes on. And
Can I stay with you because my parents do some
Doing the
really
whole
weird shit
Illuminati.
on
Little
Halloween.
does she know, they're all under the Sanderson sisters' spell.
Can we find some kind of way to...
oh right, they're casting.
Oh
a spell
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
parents.
They're
Hey,
all under the spell.
I
actually,
think we skipped over that part.
Don't they do a big dance
Zach,
scene
Zach,
where she
look
makes
this
them all
up.
dance
Look this up, Zach.
or something?
There's a way in here.
Look up French 1600s dance fever.
Well, the witches are
There was a
There's not going to be a lot of
Sure it's-
videos.
No,
I think.
no. It's look. There was a town in France in the 1600s where a band played
Dancing Plague of 1518.
Dancing
There you
Plague. Yeah,
go.
tell me what that is. Yeah,
Around 400
people
people
fucking
took to
dancing
dancing for
till they
days
died.
without rest, and over the period of about 1 month, some of those affected collapse or even died of heart attack, stroke, or
Died.
exhaustion.
Oh, the devil.
Well, they were
He is
saying,
real.
I was,
that's the
it was a
devil.
podcast. They
That
were
is
saying
the
they had,
devil.
they
they
had
were
no
saying
idea why it
there
happened.
is a type of mold or fungus that gets
Yeah.
on wheat
It gets on wheat. Yeah.
whenever they have a wet year, and it causes hallucinations and psychedelic effects.
course,
and
that
they
might
say
be
that
what this
that's
is.
what started the Salem
Right.
witch trials. Is
Absolutely,
that
yeah.
there was a wet season, and they ate this wheat, and it had this fungus on it, and it made people have like this crazy
Hallucinate
hallucinations
and
shit.
shit.
And you know, it
Yeah.
just came out as like,
Well, it made
They
people.
saw
It
some
made,
weird
women are all
Yeah, look,
evil.
no, this is exactly that's
It
what
made
they
everyone
no, this
distrust
no,
their neighbors.
exactly what I
Women.
said. It's called ergo fungi.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what they say is probably what caused it.
What
it's
started
a
the
it's a
panic.
psychoactive drug,
It makes paranoia.
and it's
Yeah.
structurally related to LSD. So they think that's
hallucinations and paranoia.
Yeah, it's a psychedelic drug basically.
Yeah.
They say that's what causes Salem witch trials.
Like
they have
mushrooms.
a wet season, and then they have all this wheat and rye stored, and then everything that they make after it gets that fungus in it makes you hallucinate.
Right.
And they think that's what caused it.
Well, that's certainly.
And this is a recent discovery.
Puts a turn on the crucible.
No, that's what it is.
Great
And that's
way.
like
this
that's
has
a
been
deep
happening
cut
for centuries.
So that's
I've read about this.
and that's a deep
before.
cut for this movie. If they're making,
got
if they
the
have
vacuum.
if they're making people dance all night, that's a deep cut thing.
Historical
Is the dancing
anachronism.
plague?
Yeah.
Like,
So-
I am 300 years old, but I have somehow discovered a vacuum cleaner.
Well, because it's like a new age broom. I think witches in the 2018 would be riding around on Oryx.
Yo, I'm trying to ride that shark, dog. What's up?
I was about to say,
shark
I got a
vacuum?
shark. That
I'm trying to ride
is the
that
best.
shark. What's
I
up?
love my vacuum.
Be
It
on
never
my
loses
shark.
suction.
Oh, God dang it!
That's
I need to
gonna
get
be
my
really
road dog back.
uncomfortable.
I was gonna
it's
put it in
too heavy,
there,
though.
yeah.
It's not as maneuverable as
If
a
I was a witch,
broom.
I would ride a carpet shampooer.
Well, that's your personal
I'm
choice.
a little OCD.
So we need a clean carpet here.
Yeah, I like being a witch. I also like a clean house, motherfucker.
Excuse me.
Tim does keep a very clean house. I
He
will
does.
say.
It's very great. I think that a lot of the budget in this movie was for helicopter shots. They do a lot of helicopter shots. It's great.
I still want to say the biggest budget
I don't know if
had to
those
have
were
been for that
helicopters, though. They
movie.
might have been crane shots, because like we said,
I
there's
don't think
probably
they were.
backlot.
I don't think it was crane shots. They were over water and all kinds of stuff. It just.
Oh, well,
I think those
okay.
were
Oh, you're talking about those
helicopters.
shots over water where we see their shadows? Yeah.
Well,
that
in the
makes
beginning
sense.
of the movie was obviously helicopter. That just was. They do a lot.
They were trying to rip off the intro to The Shining.
Maybe, perhaps. Maybe homage.
No, it is. I looked it up just now. You weren't paying attention.
I wasn't. Yeah, you caught me slipping, dog. You caught me slipping. So have they found out that the witches are still alive?
They found out the witches are still alive, and they're looking for salt.
Sugar in the
Yeah,
Raw.
they-
wait. Sugar in the Raw existed in the 90s?
They think they
Yeah, in fancy schmancy town. Listen, this is
Apparently.
Beaumont. We're like 50 years behind the rest of the world.
they think they've come up with a way to defeat the witches too.
Oh yeah, the salt. Yeah, make
Yeah.
salt rings. Yeah.
Full of salt to protect from zombies, witches, and old boyfriends.
I did not know that salt worked against old boyfriends. Man,
Try it
I
out.
could have been.
Try it out.
I should have been carrying Morton's everywhere I
You
went.
get them big old bags
Yeah.
of rock salt.
Me too. I got old boyfriends following
Put
me
it on the
around
thresholds
everywhere.
of all your doors. No evil may enter this house.
Make my gree bags every day before I leave the house.
Burn some
sage.
Sage.
Yeah,
Sage.
sage.
Ward
I'm not a
off
witch.
bad
I don't know these
Well, you know.
Well, have you never dated a city witch before?
What?
things. Yeah.
You'll learn
Oh,
all
well,
that.
talking about this
little
movie,
different.
and then like remember The Craft? Remember when The Craft
Yeah.
came out and every girl you knew was
When they
like,
get all
I want to be a
gothic and-
witch.
The city witches.
Heather's
man,
shaking her
that's
head.
the
She
thing.
probably has some experience. Did you do it? You did it.
No, I
Nah,
was
she just probably knows some city
entirely
witches.
too intelligent for all of that. I'm also a cynic.
Are you
and a
slut-shaming right now?
skeptic. I never said anything about sex. Have all the sex you want. Just don't be an idiot. No, I love The Craft. I watched it like 2 weeks ago again.
Really?
Not gonna lie, I wanted to buy some crystals, but I fought that instinct.
Thank you. I appreciate
Good for
that.
you.
Good for you.
You're welcome. I had already purchased them 3 weeks before, so
I
that's
dated
the
a girl that
kicker.
was into crystals.
No.
and
So you didn't
I
need
just
any
kinda-
more.
I just kind of humored it a little
didn't need
bit.
any more.
Just kinda-
Yeah.
Like, it's just a rock.
Would you get some amethyst?
It's pretty. No, that's my birthstone.
Is it really? I could
Some
feel that
geo-
around you. Actually, I looked at your aura
Oh,
and
yeah.
I actually
yeah.
guessed.
Was
You're-
it purple?
Yeah, I
I
see a
guess
purple
I guess it
aura.
was
Wow.
amethyst.
I just
yeah.
don't. Okay, I'm still stuck on the fact that like they're still so fucking clean after all this running around and in the cemetery.
Damn,
like,
look at Salem. Like Salem looks cool.
Their
I mean,
bedroom
their current
blows
population is
up.
about
That's Baltimore.
165,000.
Look, that's like Baltimore. That ain't Salem.
That's Rhode Island, which is neither a road nor an island.
Disgust.
Oh, Bet, we love you.
for
Look
Christ's
at
sake.
that.
Look
Look
at
at
that.
that
Oh,
shape
I
of
know.
her cleavage.
This
Holy
made-
God
crap.
bless.
It made me tingle. That's what I'm saying.
This
Like
is-
this
this
part
is
right
the
here
part.
with the voice and the boobies.
And
She
you
needs
know,
to-
this
she
is
needs to
Sarah
lose that
ju-
cloak
So,
so
I,
that we
I
can.
gotta ask. I just
was
gotta bring
like-
it up. I want to see what the mole, right? Like
That's just a witch trope.
You can't.
No,
that's
she has
No.
it. She has it, yeah.
This is a thing that's been like about her. Like this is her one of her like what do you call that? One of her traits. Like did there probably was like at least like 12 production meetings with her agents where it's like, you got to get rid of the mole.
No.
They're staying on her chin.
No, it was cool in the 90s. It was cool in the 90s.
Like she's had that thing her entire career.
It's like Enrique Iglesias.
I think she got rid of it at one point.
No.
Well, everybody loves Cindy Crawford too because she had that little mole above her.
Different.
That's not different.
It was Sarah Jessica Parker's a little bit more pronounced. That's why I was gonna.
Well, the one thing people shit on
chin is more
SJP. I'm gonna start calling her SJP.
Dope.
To save time. To save time.
Heather's like collapsing in her chair. She's like
because people say she has horse teeth. They make fun of her teeth.
Who? No, it's not
they
horse
say
teeth.
Sarah Jessica Parker has big.
She has a horse face.
It's not horse teeth. It's a horse face.
She got a very
Julia
long
Roberts.
face.
No, it's because of her chin.
They call Julia. They say Julia Roberts has horse teeth.
Yeah,
y'all are right. They say she has SJP has a horse face.
Yeah,
SJP. This is not going to become a thing, Tim.
Oh, it's
nobody's going to say that.
What's up, SJP?
SJP.
I'll tell you right now.
Hashtag.
This is not like JGL.
You don't talk about Sarah like that.
I'm doing it to save time.
She is a beautiful woman.
1993, Hocus Pocus, SJP, looking real good.
Looking real good.
93
SJP.
Still makes me tingle. Still makes me tingle. 20 years later.
I'd say she makes me tangle.
20 years later, still makes me tingle.
I mean, I just caught feelings all over again for her.
But if she had the
It's like
power to
Sex and the
lure
City
all
2
of
never
these
happened.
children,
Oh yeah,
why was this ever an issue?
Why didn't they
has
do this
this,
from the beginning?
Yeah, she could just like
power.
grab all of them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's like a lot. I mean, there's a lot of sexual innuendos in this film. So, yeah. So if Sarah Jessica Parker, if this character was a teacher, she'd be the one that gets caught, fooling around with the kids in the parking lot.
Probably a
She'd be
kid
the
a little
math
too
teacher.
young to be fooling around with.
I love how the little girl is the only voice of reason. She's like, it doesn't matter. You sold your soul. You're doomed to
I
hell.
like the youngest girl is the one that's like, fuck you, I ain't scared of you.
Yeah, she gets it. She's got the whole thing.
Bless
She's
little
she
Thora
grew up in
Birch.
L.A., dude.
Yeah, they're from L.A.
She's tougher
Hell
than
yeah.
you are.
They've seen some shit.
Southside?
Y'all, they are rich white people from LA. They ain't seen
They ain't seen a goddamn
that
thing.
rich.
They moved from LA in the 80s.
To Massachusetts.
Well,
In
this
the
is 93.
90s.
When was the LA riots?
It's the 90s now, but they grew up in the 80s.
Did they leave?
94.
Did they leave LA because of the LA riots?
Let me see. Let's make a fan theory. 1992 was the LA riots.
That's
They left LA to get.
Black people was going crazy.
White flight.
Yep, black people was going crazy in
This
LA,
movie
and they
is-
moved
the
clear
whole
across
premise.
the goddamn
This
country.
movie is racist. So that's why his parents moved, is because
Yep.
of the LA riots. That's
They got
crazy.
scared of the LA
Well,
riots.
hey, look,
Rich
Black
look,
people
white.
going crazy. They moved
April
all the way to
29th,
the
man.
other side of the country.
Wow.
They was some scared
Man, we
rich
just-
white people.
We always find out some real shit whenever we do this. Don't
They
we?
might have been just uber progressives.
And
like,
I will say, I called the whole stroke face Kathy Najimy every scene.
switch it?
I haven't
been
seen
paying
it switch yet.
Same side.
Yeah.
She
Side?
is one of
Oh,
the
you've been paying
best
attention, too.
character
I've been looking every time,
actresses.
yeah.
it's always on the left
It's been the
side.
same side every time.
Or
her
right
right.
side. Her right,
Yeah, it's been
our
on her
left,
right
yeah.
the whole.
Well, I mean,
haven't caught one
That is one
slip
thing
up.
to say is like the main characters are the antagonists, but they are the main characters. Bette Midler,
Yeah, it's their story, basically.
But they are solid actors. Like they're like. But
Get your shoes,
but
boy.
Bette
Get them
Midler is
shoes.
an actor on a level of like she started with stage acting.
Well, that's what's so
like-
great about this.
great.
This movie is her caliber and what Bette
Yeah.
Midler is capable of, and this movie is so silly and so below her pay grade, I guess you could say. And she's just having fun with it. She kills it.
Bette Midler always talked about how this was one of her favorite
funnest-
movies.
yeah,
and
she
her
probably had a- I
favorite
read a
characters.
quote. She said, "This is the most fun
'cause
I've ever
she's
had making a
a lot of
movie."
fun doing that.
Yeah.
stuff.
But I mean, this was back in the day whenever they actually the people who funded these movies
they think
actually
they're
let the actors and everybody else have like their own, like they got to choose their own costumes.
Well,
like,
Yeah.
because
like
I
they
guarantee
gave
you that
them
was
some,
in her.
some rope.
I guarantee you that was probably in her
Look,
rider.
Sarah Jessica Parker's got to feel her tits to make sure they're still there. the
the
sun's
first
about
thing
to
she
come
goes
up.
in.
She's
I guarantee you
Oh,
when
for sure.
I guarantee you when Bette Midler signed on to this movie, she was like, "I want this," because I'm fucking goddamn Bette Midler.
I couldn't find out
I
how
want
much she got paid
I want
for
to pick
it.
my costumes.
But dude, I mean,
she probably had a lot of creative
The
control.
budget was
in
pretty
this.
high though.
Yeah,
I mean,
and a lot of that went to her. I bet she probably took a lot of creative control.
Well,
in
we were
this.
talking about how it was originally the script was originally meant to be a made-for-TV thing, but Walt Disney Studios, their movie production company, read it and said, "Hey, we think we could make this into a feature film." So
They
said,
probably
"We'll throw
decided
some-
that
we'll
when they
throw some-"
signed her on.
Well, no,
'Cause she's such a
no,
name.
No, this is what I'm saying. They had the script. They were signing it on, and then like they read the script and said, this has potential, so let's throw some more money at it, and then they got all these big name actors. So, like, they weren't on this until the studios
The budget
decided.
got a little higher.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sure she had the biggest chunk of it, but...
All right. Somebody was like, hey, we talked a bit, she's interested, but not unless it's a theatrical, and, you know, we got to make some changes. She wants to have creative control over her costumes and stuff like that.
I don't think so. I think it was probably...
I'm not saying she was like a bitch about it.
No.
But
I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying I don't give her all the credit for it. I just think this was at a time where producers and these production companies were more willing to give more leeway to creative control. They weren't trying to control everything so much.
Yeah.
You know, to where they could actually, you know...
If they wanted to get a big name like Bet, they got to be like, hey, what
do you want to do?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
So check it out. So right now in this story, they actually passed up many opportunities to win the day. And it was through Bette Midler's character's arrogance that she was like, there was only time to get one more child before that candle went out.
Gotta go
And she's
after
like-
the
she's
one
like,
that wronged.
Fuck all these other virgins.
I want that.
I'm
It's
getting
personal
that little
now.
son of
But,
a
you know,
bitch.
isn't that what the lesson of
I'm
all
getting that
these,
little son of a
like,
bitch. Yeah, yeah,
archetypal
yeah.
bad people
Oh,
is
that's-
like,
is that a
it's
Ford?
their pride that is
Yeah.
the
At the end of the
destruction.
day,
Pride
it's
fucking
about your
with you.
arrogance and your pride. Yeah. At the end of the day.
Yeah, you could have won if you just would have done it, but they're like, no.
Well,
I'm not done until I
spoiler,
get
Chris
this.
Pratt, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
We do love spoiling Infinity War.
I
don't think it's a spoiler at this point.
He's an asshole.
God damn it.
Well, I
Well, by the
haven't
time
seen
people
it.
hear this.
I don't really care. Spoil away.
It's
Oh, they
just-
can't. They can't
Hey,
go.
look,
they
look.
can't
Gentleman.
go
So-
set foot in the cemetery, right?
So the dead boyfriend's back. So let's cheers to.
This is the part that I love. This is his comeuppance.
race him
This
up.
is, he probably cuts the stitches
Hey.
off his mouth.
Tuesday, Wednesday, I fall apart. Friday, I'm in love. That's all I'm saying.
What the fuck was that? He does look
a
like
reference
Robert Smith,
to,
doesn't he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he
definitely
does,
Robert Smith. He's Robert Smith crossed with Edward Scissorhands.
Kinda,
He's
yeah.
he's Jack Skellington, Robert Smith, which is the most emo gothic thing you could ever do in your entire life.
Get in. We're going crying. That's my favorite. That's probably one of my favorite memes of all time.
Oh yeah, him in the
He's
car.
sitting in the golf cart.
It's like, get in.
Get in, kid. We're going crying.
We're going crying. Oh man,
All right, so we're back in the
love it.
cemetery. This looks like the finale.
it's fine.
He's a good zombie.
It's a good zombie.
He's a
It's
good
it's a good zombie. Don't worry about it.
Still clean sweater with a chick. Like, how are they this clean?
Especially when you're hanging out with a zombie, like you would think you'd see
Like,
some
she had
brown
smudge
stains or
marks on her
something.
face, right? Like, so how often does your face come into
and look
contact
at that.
with
Look at
things?
the first time
Straight up
tonight.
Nike.
The first time tonight, he's like, "Let me get rid of my jacket because it's starting to get hot." All this
No,
shenanigans.
this is
and everything.
October in Massachusetts, so it's pretty cold up there, I'm sure.
Maybe you're right.
I really don't understand how she had smudge marks on her face, but her off-white sweater does not
Maybe you're
have
right.
anything
Yeah.
on it. Like, come on.
I think this is where Stranger Things got the idea for what's his name? What's the one of the protagonists in Stranger Things? He's
With the hair.
with the hair. Yeah, like
The bad guy?
the good guy.
Well, he was kind of a douche in the
He was kind of
beginning,
in the first season.
Oh,
but,
yeah, with
what's
the
his
baseball
name?
bat?
With the baseball bat.
God, was it
It's probably from
Billy
this
or-
movie. I don't know. He has the Farrah Fawcett hair.
Well, every time they do
He's
that,
the best,
when they
though.
do that stuff with the
I
salt.
like him a lot.
When
I
they
like
do that
that
stuff
guy.
with the salt in this, it reminds me of
Steve.
Demon Knight.
Steve, that's
Yeah,
it.
Steve.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing about Stranger Things
love
is
Steve.
Stranger Things
It's
is
an amalgamation of
Stranger
of
Things is
references.
they do the
Yeah.
Tarantino thing, and it's Stranger Things. The whole series is a blatant
Yeah, it's all- it's all-
mashup
yeah.
rip-off.
That's all it
series.
is, yeah.
But they do it so well.
yeah.
But
that
it's blatant.
next
Nobody
level.
cares. It's fine.
Yeah, but I mean,
'Cause they're not trying to hide it,
Well,
but
that's what I'm
it's still
saying. Well, that's what
original.
I'm saying is you take the tropes, you flip them, or you
Yeah.
mash them together. That's what Tarantino does. Everything.
No, they don't flip the tropes. They
Dude,
lean
well,
into them.
almost every
They lean
shot
into the tropes.
and choice of music and everything in Tarantino films are taken from something else.
Oh,
Of course, yeah.
But
you could call him a giant rip-off
but
artist.
he is a rip-off
Yeah,
artist.
yeah,
but
absolutely.
But he does it at such a high level that's why
Right.
why they're accepted. You know.
And
It's
also,
like-
there's no new notes
It's not
in
a
music,
copy.
so
exactly. Yeah.
Fuck
There's
it.
only 12 notes in music, Western music.
I mean,
so-
we're not the first podcast
With the salt stuff in this,
so.
it reminds me of Demon Night, which is something I'd love
what's
to do.
that?
When they drop the blood on all the doors and the monsters can't get in.
I've never seen Demon.
What
Night.
is that? I don't know
what
what you're
Demon
talking
Night
about.
You
is.
ever seen Tales from the Crypt, the movie Demon Night?
Oh,
Billy
yeah,
Zane.
yeah. That's right. I remember that. Yeah. I remember that.
Tales from
I'm
the
a little
Crypt
younger.
destroyed
remember
me
that.
as a child.
Yeah,
that
same.
movie's-
Same.
Mine was
So great.
Goosebumps.
Same.
It had Billy Zane and
Fuck yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Nickelodeon was my jam.
Did you ever see? Did you ever see the episode?
it was
Did you ever see the episode of Goosebumps? Say Cheese or Die.
That was the first. I had that book. Hey,
that was the first. That was the first
Probably
appearance.
all
Scariest one
I
was.
did.
That was the
Read
first
every
appearance of
single
my
one.
boy Ryan Gosling.
No shit.
He's in that. That's him.
Goosebumps?
Yeah, look it up.
Dude,
look it up on your laptop
do a
right there.
Goosebumps. We got to do a Goosebumps.
Say Cheese or Die. It's Ryan
Man, the
Gosling.
cover
He's
of
like the
that
haunted
book was
He's like
the
camera.
nine. He's like
best,
9 years
yeah.
old. He's like 9 years old. That's what I looked like when I was 9, and it got me a lot of play. Got me a lot of play when I was a kid.
I
I
were
still
9.
think you still share a resemblance to Ryan
Got me a lot of
Gosling.
play when I was a kid. I'm just letting
No,
you know.
Aaron
I'm
has
not-
Aaron, no, listen.
I'm
Aaron,
not trying to suck his
no,
dick, but I see
me
it.
and Aaron have been friends for shit.
It got me a
15
lot
years.
of play, dog.
We've been friends for like a long
Well,
time.
Silsbee's a small town.
It's a real small
We
town.
have a long story about that. But
Yeah.
anyway, but he has a theory, and I kind of believe him, that every time a new Ryan Gosling movie, like a new hit Ryan Gosling movie comes out, he
gets
gets
more
a lot
action.
more attention.
I get a lot of play. It's true.
You know,
I
I
think
would like to
it's
quantify the
very
data
true.
on this.
I've quantified
Will-
it. It's,
will
When
you
I
let
saw
me
Drive,
interview
I
you?
wanted to
accurate.
fuck you.
It's accurate. No, like when
Well,
Drive
we're missing
when
the
Drive
I
happened.
know this is
got a lot
the
of play.
climax
This
of
is the
film.
best. This is the best.
Yeah, let's stop talking about Aaron.
Yeah, we've given him
Please,
enough.
it makes me uncomfortable. I mean,
I'm just glad
what's-
Billy
what's-
got a voice.
Billy, that's his name. I was about to say, okay, Billy, his makeup looked like it changed. It's a little greener.
wait, why is
It's almost more Frankenstein.
it's like his aura's oh yeah, he's the virgin.
Not him. I'm talking
no,
about
Billy,
the sewn-up
the
mouth.
Sanderson
The zombie.
sisters' ex-boyfriend.
Well, he's been in a sewer.
That's
That's what they're
yeah,
doing. She's
he's
like,
getting
I'm
some fresh
sucking your
air.
virgin essence.
Oh, it's that
Well,
easy?
I mean, I
need
do
it.
the same thing.
I need
No,
it.
Is it that easy? Hey-o.
Yeah.
I would never.
Yeah, well, your
Well-
your boyfriend is an ex-Pentecostal, or maybe still Pentecostal.
Absolutely not. That's on my
Mormon.
checklist of
Slowly
no.
Mormon.
stealing his
But you
soul.
you steal his essence all the time, and every time you like introduce him to something new, you're like,
Oh, see, I was gonna go way darker.
You're
and
innocent.
way more inappropriate.
When
stealing his essence.
you're like, you've never seen this?
Yeah, that is definitely.
Let me get that innocence,
That
boy.
is definitely
Guns.
exciting.
Let me get that
It
innocence,
is.
boy.
It is. Oh no, the sun's coming up.
Yeah.
They only had this one
They
night.
took too long because of her hubris.
Pride. Yes.
It's all from her
Her
hubris.
hubris and pride.
She had many children and many virgins to choose from. The other sisters tried to talk her out of it. They were like, "Look, we have these two
No, that's the trope.
dingbats
Yeah.
in
That's
these
the trope.
cages." Yeah.
They could have won very
I
easily.
mean, dude,
and
any James
that's
Bond
why they're the
villain,
bad
any
guy.
James Bond villain.
They're all like that, yeah.
Look, Goldfinger was like one of the first ones.
I'ma
It's like
tell
the
you my
laser.
plan.
And,
Are you gonna stand here and
She's gonna
explain your
try to
and
point?
I'm
get
gonna
one
walk
last-
away and let this kill you. And
I'm not
watch
gonna
you-
stand here and make sure it
exactly.
works.
Like that's the
Yeah.
thing is like every villain. That's just
Yeah.
that's the trope.
I'm gonna tie
I love
you up.
this like
I'm gonna
Lion
explain
King
my
So
Sunrise
Ryan Gosling was
that
in Are You Afraid of the
It's
Dark?
like Serengeti
and
right there. That's a hell of a sunrise.
sure was.
Jeez,
Sure
I
was.
need to move to Salem. That's beautiful.
They got some beautiful sunrises.
She gets a wonky eye when she turns into the.
Now that's probably
statue.
that's probably like a styrofoam sculpture right there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
and
I'm
I
sure.
guarantee you, Bette Midler probably has that in her attic somewhere.
I hope
She
she
probably
does.
stole
Wonder if
that.
we can
She
find
probably
it.
stole that from the
No,
set.
SJP.
The rest of it explodes.
SJP.
R.I.P. SJP.
Eh.
No.
Kathy Hill, no.
She'll be back. Watch King of the Hill. She'll be back.
I'm
And then
Peggy Hill.
you get scared right here because you think
Me
he's gonna
llamo
die
es
too.
Peggy
Peggy
Hill.
Hill.
Don't they make you think that he's? Oh, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
he
you're
No,
died.
this is the part
He
that breaks a
died.
child's heart. This is where Disney went way too
They
dark.
went real dark, yeah.
You fall in love with this damn cat.
And he
fucking cat.
died.
It's not just a cat, it's a human cat. It's
It is. It's a human being that's been trapped in a cat's body.
a Thackeray cat.
dude.
And like as a kid.
Planet
mission
Planet
is
Hollywood at Walt
accomplished.
Disney World has the Bette Midler statue prop.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
jeez.
thought Planet Hollywood went bankrupt.
I think they did, except for
well,
except
no,
for
they got
probably
like
not in
one.
Disney.
except for in Disney.
So
World,
that's
yeah.
actually it belongs in a museum. Okay,
Wait,
good.
is the one in New York City still operating? When I went there, like my very first time to New York, I was like 15. I saw the dress that Rose wore in Titanic at the end.
Now look,
But they
okay,
had 'em in
so
Orlando,
just-
they had 'em-
I'll say this because you made me think of it. But Planet Hollywood is one thing.
Bye, Billy.
But
Oh,
if you
Billy,
if
just
you
go to
ever
bed.
if you ever are at a
Forever.
place and you entertain the idea to go to the what is the clay.
Madame Tussauds.
Madame
Yeah,
Tussauds.
if you ever
wax museum.
if you ever
Madame Tussauds.
have like an inkling of an idea to go to Madame Tussauds, just fucking throw it in the trash. It's the worst experience I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yes.
I went in New York and I had a
When I lived in
time.
Hot Springs, Arkansas, they had a wax
Okay,
museum
look.
there.
So like my little trip to Europe,
How long?
I decided to do that, and it was the most annoying and shitty experience I've ever had.
So he died too?
It was horrible.
I was 15 when I went,
Okay,
so
that's
maybe
different.
it was
Well,
like
that's the thing is like I was surrounded by kids,
yeah.
and it was just like this is bullshit.
And I
But are you saying
was
like
a
the
kid.
quality of them wasn't up to par?
No,
or-
not even that. It's just the whole experience. Like you get led. It's like going through It's a Wonderful World or whatever. Like it's like
Yeah.
you're getting led through this maze of just.
Oh no!
Oh, okay. See,
There he
Binks
is.
has
There he is.
died. Oh, the little cat body
His
shrank.
purpose has been fulfilled.
Well, look, I'm
And
so
now he's a
glad because like
ghosty.
he can
she
rest
was
in peace now.
she was hugging that cat. I'm so
and
glad
little
he's a
Thora
human
Burgess
ghost.
crying.
I'm so glad.
If he would have lived, they would have totally hooked up.
That is disgusting.
As a cat,
3 years
First
difference.
misogynistic
As a
thing
cat?
you said.
No, it's him.
He's
I
308
thought they
years
were gonna-
old.
Hey,
okay?
why don't you
There's a
That
bit
is
of an age-
wrong.
bit of an
why don't
age
you
gap
watch
there.
Twilight? Why don't you watch that shit?
Hey, I have
Aw,
read
it's
the book,
disgusting.
been
His
there,
sister's
done.
free.
where the fuck has she been? Just living
How
in
did, how, did,
purgatory?
how did all of this free
Oh, look,
her?
it's Emily.
Yeah, her soul got sucked out by the witches.
Yeah, but you think that she would be able to mentally handle
I shall
being
always be
like
with you.
sucked into a witch? And
No.
like she would probably be insane and like just like
I don't think she'd exist
like she'd
anymore.
come out of it and just be
Yeah,
like
I feel like she'd just be gone.
Well, this is a Disney movie, okay?
Word.
You know, they've already caused women to have the talk with their children.
guys.
They've already made kids
Well,
cry.
from your
they're just
personal
it
laughing
has
after
to
this
have
whole
a
experience.
Disney
There's-
ending.
From your experience, they made
have
pee
fun, ghosts.
I love these like gates.
I know,
here.
They
it's
made
so
Like the-
Disney.
they made
It's
pee-pees
beautiful.
tingle. I mean,
This epic walk into the sunrise and fade
I had to
away.
wait 300 years for a virgin to light a
America's
candle.
for a Puritan society. We were very slutty.
And they're still so
oh,
clean.
dude, we're super slutty.
I
I
don't
love
even know
this
why she still has
grandiose
that
music
sweater
that's
on.
happening.
The guy
In
that
the
did the music for
background.
this, actually, I looked it up. The guy that did the music for this did a lot of other pretty cool stuff. He
They
always
are-
does.
they
He always
are-
does swashbuckling movie
Oh,
themes.
like Cutthroat Island and shit.
They're barely even sweating.
I know it's the end.
I
of
love
it.
that the gate closes
It's
right.
October. It's
As
no,
the
it's
final
November.
note.
in upper
It's the
north,
31st.
yeah.
It's morning
Yeah.
of November 1st right now.
Yeah,
So
so
they
it's
should
probably
be shivering
the guy
their
that did
ass
the
It's
off.
probably
score
like
for this,
50 degrees.
The guy that did the score for this
Oh, look.
did Passion of the Christ.
Hey,
and a
look,
couple
they
other stuff,
they're
so.
released from their dance demon devil fucking thing.
This is
a lot of
probably
a lot of kids got conceived on
And
this.
don't they have no recollection of this?
no.
correct?
This is the longest. This is the most these adults have enjoyed themselves since they had children. This is wonderful. This was a blessing for them.
Because
Hell
everybody
no.
knows
Yeah,
kids
animation
ruin your
supervisor.
life.
It's a blessing.
Hell no, they
Well,
in some
I
eyes
mean,
wide shut
you
shit,
know.
dude. They in that stuff.
Well, see what if you stay.
shit.
Wait, but the end of the
here
movie,
we go. Look,
the
Dun,
eye on
dun,
the book.
dun.
Oh, and you hear I put a spell
they
on
yeah
you.
the reprise of that.
so they can still come alive
It's
somehow.
like that was part of her contract is I have to have
So
the
strong,
credit roll.
so
Yeah, I had to have
strong,
the
so
first
strong.
credit on there. Yeah,
And also the
that's JP second.
also to leave it open
JP.
to leave it open that if this was seem insanely successful, they could do a sequel.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Now, a lot of people, I don't know if we'll make it to the very end of these credits, but if you wait to the after credit sequence of this movie, you actually get to see the whole Eyes Wide Shut Caligula orgy that the
Yeah,
parents,
just wait.
Because if you remember, you're like,
Just
okay,
wait.
whatever happened to them?
Yeah.
We saw them in the house and then never
Well,
saw them
okay,
again.
so I don't have
you
have
get
a
to see the.
I don't have a
and it's-
guarantee.
It's dark.
Is there an
You
after
can see, like,
is there an
it's-
after credit scene?
It's a weird orgy. They're all spitting each
Yeah, I
other's
thought about the
mouth.
orgy we were talking
Well,
about.
Oh
we'll
yeah,
have to
full
find
full
out.
penetration, full frontal.
Yeah,
Like
oh, yeah.
it's
Oh.
raw.
It goes
Yeah.
weird.
It's raw.
It's.
Just real weird.
I guess I understand why they cut it out.
Yeah, and this is what finally destroyed my childhood.
Well, shit,
And
so,
there's a deleted scene too of the kid Max finally fucks that girl.
Well,
yeah, thank God.
Well,
So,
of course he
we,
does. I mean, he
I
went
don't know
through
why
hell
they
and
cut that
back.
out of the
I mean,
movie.
there's this really cool scene where she teaches him how to eat her out.
Yeah.
And,
Why
like-
did they cut that out?
Listen, that is a
That was pivotal.
3-year-long lesson. This does not happen in one
Well,
take.
no, I mean,
okay?
I get
For,
that.
for
When you
personal
train a guy to do
experience.
that, you don't want to
It's-
go have to train another
It's
guy.
not just it's not just.
Well,
it's
anyway,
so
the
final
not
thoughts.
like some
Final thoughts.
Anyway, this has been a PG movie.
Yeah. Oh, we were gonna play with that PG thing.
I'll do my
Man, we fucked
Listen,
up.
this was how I had the talk
Okay,
with
look,
my
okay, look.
It's been
mother.
great.
we
It's been
actually
great.
we actually got a lot of things out. Like
been
we
great.
got dark. We explained what you should do if you get pulled over by a cop that you don't think is a cop.
heard some personal
we
stories
explained a
from Heather.
personal
Absolutely.
story for how you got the sex talk.
Yeah. Thank
how
you,
Heather learned
Disney.
about sex.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Disney.
No, we've
Thank
look.
you,
we went
Bette
off on
came
a
here-
lot of weird
Thank
tangents.
you, Bette Midler.
Look, you
She
guys,
is life.
you guys came for the laughs. You stayed for the lessons. It's been great. Like, it's been great. Look,
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now. Like, we came for the goofs and the gaffs and the boofs and the spiffs and the sploofs.
But we learned a little something along the
We
way.
did. We learned a
Sploofs.
little something. It was a PG movie.
Thank you,
Wish to
Disney.
thank Massachusetts.
That we all-
I was wrong. I said I bet
They
that
are
was
there.
backlot.
No, it wasn't.
They
No,
just said
shot,
thank
they
you
shot
to
the street
Salem,
scenes
Massachusetts.
in Salem, but they shot
that's what I was saying, is
they
the
shot everything else on a sound.
The helicopter
okay.
shots were clearly Salem.
Okay,
But-
so
but-
final thoughts.
My final thoughts. I don't know very much about this movie. I know a little bit about its cult with girls mainly, and that's not whatever. But it makes sense because it is I won't call it a feminist movie, but it relates to girls. I am really glad that we decided to have you on this episode,
Hell yeah.
Heather. I thought you did a great job, and
Heather killed it,
I just
man.
had a lot of fun
You
with you,
killed it,
Heather. What are your final
thoughts?
think?
I mean, this is a cult classic. I grew up watching this movie. I got the talk from my mom because of this movie. And, as like a 5-year-old kid, this was like my first foray into like getting into like Halloween and horror genre in general, which I'm super fan of. So yeah, this was like a good beginner step for me to watch The Exorcist like 2 years later, which destroyed my life.
Would you say this film was maybe one of the films that you found your love of film and it made you want to explore
Maybe not
other
film, but
other
Halloween.
stuff?
I mean,
just,
definitely
that genre.
Halloween, and like definitely that
genre.
that horror genre. Yeah,
You
and
wanted
then
to learn more.
and then I delved a little too far.
Exorcist.
Yeah. Oh God, it's the scariest film ever made of all time ever.
I mean, my final thoughts. I don't really have too many final thoughts about Hocus Pocus. I'm glad that we decided to do it. I'm glad that we had Heather on because like we wanted to break out of the classic slasher films and everything else that we were doing. We wanted to do something a little lighter. But it's so funny how every time we do this, we all learn something new. We all have realizations, and none of it is planned. And it's really cool that we brought you on, and you had such a cool story about that whole thing with.
And it wasn't just me.
Yeah, exactly that too.
How
but it's
many
like,
girls out there?
Yeah, it's always this realization that happens, and like I mean, I don't have a big connection to Hocus Pocus other than growing up seeing it on TV as a kid. But like my final thoughts is like I had a great time, and I'm glad we had you on. Aaron, final thoughts? You want to close it out?
Sure. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Like Zach said, we're really glad that you came on, Heather. We hope to have you back.
We'll probably have you on a movie night before we put this out, actually.
Yeah, probably.
So this will probably actually be your second or third time to be on.
Maybe. But
We'll find something.
we had a great time with this movie. We tried to do like a new thing with this. This is like the first PG movie that we probably have ever done. And,
First Disney movie.
And
well,
maybe
Zach also said the most current film that we've done too.
Yeah,
at this
93.
point.
it is at this point, yeah. So it kind of like it's in that sort of vein where we do late 80s, early 90s, but at the same time, it's great. We had fun shitting on your childhood, Heather. That's been a lot of fun.
That's my favorite pastime.
And we talked about how everyone's private parts tingled when this movie came out, and we were all very confused. And we had a great time. And for everybody here, thank you, Tim. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Zach.
Yeah.
And this has been A2Z Movie Night.
Well, as always, thank you, Aaron and Zach, for doing this. And again, I want to say thank you, Heather.
Well, no shit, Tim.
I'm very happy that we made this happen.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're
It was just as much fun as I thought it would be.
Well, you got to close it out, Tim. You're the guy that's going to be taking the
You're the
reins
guy.
on these things.
But yes, like we always say, if you are still listening, like, subscribe, share. This isn't come out till October. We're doing this at the end of May. We have some surprises and some giveaways, so just keep listening and subscribing to more content, and you might win a little something.
Any shout outs from anybody? Heather, you got some shout outs? You want to shout out to anybody? Any listeners or anybody you know?
Thanks, Disney, for having the talk with my mom.
For forcing
no, that shouldn't be
early
sarcastic. That should be
No,
realistic.
we got some.
No,
we got
that
some,
was not sarcasm.
No,
That should be realistic.
Any
That was
friends,
yeah.
local shout outs? Anybody you want to thank or?
Whatever.
All right, cool.
Well,
I love that.
Tim, you
That's
got
response.
you got any shout outs, Tim? What's up?
I did a couple shout outs. I mean, I can't think of anybody right now. I mean, I'm not to dismiss anybody, but y'all all know who you are because
fuck
you're
that. Shout
probably
out to
listening
Emily.
right now. Emily, one of my best friend Alicia, I'll give her a shout out because I gave her a little sneak peek to this, and she's super excited to hear this episode. Dope. So, love you, Alicia.
Hey, I'm gonna shout out to Josh White, an American hero. He's in Africa right now. God damn it!
Out there defending our freedom.
All right.
Did you see that? So I'm shouting out to him.
Yeah.
So there we go.
God bless you. We love you.
Hey, thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. Every episode, you guys come in like we love it. And if you listen to all these in the 13 Nights of Halloween, then you know what? Good on you. It's been A to Z.